Here I am. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the stream here. I certainly hope you guys are doing great today, because I'm doing pretty good myself. Now, it's a little bit different today. We're doing something a little bit different. I did say that I didn't know what I was going to do this week. It's a little bit of an odd stream to do. You know, it's just, I didn't really want to do Planet Coaster because kind of the creative juices have not been flowing very well for me. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to try something a little bit different today. And so I've decided we're going to play Software Inc. I picked it up this week. I've been playing it a little bit just to see how it would go. And I think it'd be a fun little game to play. But also, I think while we play this game, I can kind of tell you how I got into software development. I've been actually just technically graduated from, I went to a local college in Ohio that I just graduated from, so that is pretty neat, with an associate's degree in software development. So kind of fun. I'll tell you how I got into that. But yeah, we'll take a look at this game here, if it'll come up, because for some reason, there it goes. You can see here I have been playing a little bit. We'll start a new game. We'll go through the whole thing. I'll tell you a little bit about the game. Looks like it's still an alpha, which is fine. You can learn what that means a little later on today. Yeah, I'll kind of teach you or tell you how I got in software development. We'll tell you a little about the game and see how that goes. Now, I didn't develop this game. Kind of wish I would have, but it is a fun little game. So the first thing we get to do, I'm going to cancel this, is we get to create our character. Now, I don't know why we have all this, but because your character is kind of tiny on the screen. So let's go ahead and let's see, jaw height. What do we got here? So I kind of get a longer jaw. The width, it's a little narrower, but something like that. Ear size, and we'll keep it relatively decent. Position, I think this is like forward or back. I have really kind of smaller ears. Nose width, I'm kind of looking at the camera to see if I can match myself well enough here. I really don't have a big nose at all, which is it's not bad, but And then thickness, not very thick, and mine curves a little bit, not too much though. I think that'll work. All right, so move on to hair. If you actually see that I just recently got my hair cut, and it feels a lot better. So I think something like that will work. I don't think I have the afro or the mullet, so I think I'll go with that. Face, I'll just use the stubble because I usually don't have facial hair that often, so makes sense. We'll go with a hoodie. Do we go like Silicon Valley hoodie or like a t-shirt? I think we'll go with hoodie this time, and I'm gonna do cargo shorts because why not? Makes perfect sense. Accessory, there's only one. You can get glasses, which as you can see, I do wear glasses. And then we have to worry about color. So skin, let's lighten this up a little bit because I am what they call very white. There we go. I think we need maybe a little more tan, or a little more tan to a little more color. Something like that. I think so. What is up, John? So you popped in there, son. There we go. Let's do facial hair. I mean, really, this is all about right. I have really kind of dark brown hair, even though when it's cut short like this, I accidentally hit the escape button. All right, let's try this all again. If I can run through this really quick. Yep, that looks fine. This looks good. Yep, that's fine. When I say that this really doesn't matter, it really doesn't, because you very rarely see this at all. Let's go back through here, that, and then we have the hoodie, cargo shorts with glasses, skin a little bit darker. Maybe a little more color to it. Facial hair, I don't really have any, but it's kind of dark, more brownish. It has subtle. There is no like clean cut, which is kind of surprising to me. But all right, eyebrows, also that kind of brownish color. A little darker than that. What am I bald? Hold on here. Can I just... There we go. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Didn't know I could do that. I'm learning something. So, hair. something like that. Glasses, you know, nice dark rim, you know, a little nerdy, but it works. So torso, we'll just do we'll do a black hoodie, and the sleeves. That's kind of the trim. I'll do these in orange because I'm a big orange person. Well, not like orange. We'll just put it that way. That looks like I'm wearing a Halloween hoodie. That's exactly what it looks like. And then for my pants, let's go with the nice, maybe a nice blue. That works. A little darker than that. Shoes, we'll go with this black. That'll work. That's not bad. A little on the thin side, but you know it's fair. Let's just be real. All right, so what do a generous and optimistic is not a bad one. Maybe introvert. A little less social. That thing, introvert but optimistic. It's pretty not bad. So in this one, I kind of want to go programmer because that's what I went to college for, but I also want to do a little bit of design. So we'll do something like that. So I have some really good design and really good programming right off the bat, but my art, my marketing is not great. Kind of like I am in real life. It's not bad. So we come back over here. Starting point, we'll start with $10,000. We'll start in 1980. We'll start on easy because once again, I haven't really played this game too much, but fair. I want to make it 2 days. I kind of like 2 days a month. We don't have any mods, of course. So yeah, this will work. This is kind of just a basic playthrough, but we need a name for the company. And if Cyberfryer LLC, because I've been playing way too much Cyberpunk, I think that works. Why, I'm not sure. Technically, I think Cyberpunk, if I'm not mistaken, the original idea for Cyberpunk came in the 80s, the tabletop game originally. So, all right. So, what do we want to do first? So, we can either buy an empty plot of land and then work our way up and actually build our own building, or we can rent like in a garage or an apartment or something like that. I'm thinking we actually go for an apartment. It's not a very big area. We can get 704 square meters it's only like $400. So I think it's where we're going to start. So we're actually going to launch into the game now. So at the beginning, it's just me. I've already done a lot of the tutorials, so I might read a couple of them just to make sure that I know what I'm doing. But most of this, I kind of know what this means. So I want to go ahead and put up a desk here. I really don't need too much. Essentially what I need is a nice chair, because you always need a nice chair. I'm gonna give myself a plant on my table here. Give myself an old computer, aka from the 80s. We can upgrade that later, and I'm also gonna give myself a calculator. Why a calculator? I'm not really sure. But that's what we got. And then I need to get a cubicle wall. That's more just for posterity for later, but I think that's a pretty decent start. And I can't actually edit the building at all, unfortunately, because I'm just leasing the place. I don't technically own the building. Later on we'll be able to, and that gets a lot more complicated as I've learned. I've done one playthrough where I built one building, and it wasn't great. But now if I fast forward, I don't think my guy's gonna be here till next morning. So, see my guy here? We're just gonna be sitting here because we actually aren't developing anything. We're not programming anything. So what I want to do is I want to start with a few contracts. Now these contracts you see here. So this is for the Pit Inc. It needs 0.7 code units and 0 art units, which is good because I don't do art. But it says recommended designers 1, recommended programmers 1. So I'm technically both. So I can do B1. We get a month to do this. We get technically 2 days to do this. And they only expected a mediocre quality. They're going to give us $1,100 to start, and then just over $9,500 to complete this one. So this is pretty much how you're going to start this. We're the core team, and technically you can actually have different teams. We start with just the core team. We'll see here. Let's go ahead and code. Once this gets up to pretty much full, I will go ahead and put that into development. And so you'll see it's full now. I'll hit development, and so now you can see the code actually going up here. Once it hits that 0.7, I'll hit promote. So right now this is an alpha. This is kind of what this game is in right now. Let's slow down time. Kind of explain this a little bit. So right now in alpha, we're actually writing whatever program we are. So when I was doing this is when I your design is how you. So essentially, the design phase would come before this. That's kind of what that bar is. At that point, you kind of lay out what you were trying to do in the program, how you wanted to go about it, maybe even write a few lines just to figure out how you want things to go. And then the alpha phase, which is what this game is, they're actually writing it. They're actually doing some testing on it. They're actually starting to develop it and actually making it a somewhat working product. If you've seen in some alphas aren't as good as others because they're still developing this and they're still working on it. But if you see here, once I fast forward a little bit, we'll get to the code that we'll get to a point where the code's good enough so we can actually promote it into beta. Now, there's a delay here for some reason. I don't remember what the delay is for, but beta is where we actually have the completed piece of programming, but now we're actually going through and working with it. This will be your play testing, all that. A lot of people have heard of open betas, closed betas, stuff like that. This is kind of what it is. You're testing the game out. Sometimes it's with a larger group of people. And that beta phase is just to fix any bugs or anything that you find in the game. If anybody knows about Cyberpunk 2077 that just came out, some people think they should have left it in beta a little bit longer, but sometimes this can last for months and months. For a small program like this, we're probably going to spend the rest of this day on it, because we really don't need it. So once my guy leaves, I'm just going to hit release. And you see here, we've got all of our money because it's outstanding quality and stuff like that. So that is the entire dev process crunched down to a very simplified form. While I'm thinking about it, though, I do want to redo this so I stay a little bit later. So I essentially stay 8 to 5 every day. So I'll skip to the next day. We've made a ton of money. Not really, but for our company right now, we've made a lot of money. And so I'm going to keep accepting a few contracts, mostly these logistics and these embedded systems. Perhaps that's all I can do right now. I can probably take on 2. But just want to be safe because I was reading some tutorials to see how this game goes, and for a lot of this, you don't really want to push yourself too hard right off the bat, and you don't really want to expand too quickly because that can get you into some trouble, which is fair. So I've already got a second one going here. We'll go ahead and develop. Ooh, didn't quite get that one done, so that's okay. I think we will be okay with this tomorrow. Go ahead and skip time forward. So I did say that I was going to explain, kind of after I explained the game, kind of what were we doing. I kind of want to explain how I got into this. And originally didn't want to even do anything with computers. Originally I was actually enrolled in, I'll tell you a little about my education. So I went to a private school all the way through 12th grade, graduated high school, and graduated when I was 17. So I graduated a little bit early. Actually, I turned 8, so I graduated in May, turned 18 in August. So it was more, I did graduate a little bit earlier than I would have, but that was fine. And I did what any 18-year-old would do. I went and enrolled in probably one of the hardest engineering colleges in the country. And yeah, that was, I turned 18 on the 9th of August, and then I think it was like 2 weeks later is when I started college. Maybe not my brightest idea. I'll let you know why. I don't know, because I was always one of those kids where in high school I was one that I didn't really study too much, but I still got A's and B's. And it's not that I didn't I didn't study. I just very rarely did and still got good grades, so it was kind of pointless to study anyways if I was still going to get a good grade. Kind of my thought about it was like, that's maybe not great. But when I went to college, I kind of got hit in the face. It's like, all right, you have to do this. And I think what happened was I just didn't adjust fast enough. I mean, I had some issues with some of the classes, and if you don't perform to a kind of satisfactory level, they will put you on it's more like I say, hey, this is a suspension. You need to get your act together and come back. I'm like, well, this kind of sucks. So that's what happened to me. I'm like, you know what? Why don't I try to go to, there's a local college close to where I used to work. I'm like, you know what? It's a community college. I'll go there and say, just take some of my core classes and not have to worry about it. And then once I get done with that, no big deal. I'll go back and finish my degree. And I did that. I actually got probably about 3 or 4 of the core classes done. They let me back in. Because it was just a time off. They tell you have to wait a year. Went back there. I actually, technically that would have been in the spring. I actually waited an extra semester, so I started in the fall. Like, you know what, I'm going to hit this hard. I'm going to do good. And for the first half of that semester, I was doing really well. At least to myself. A's and B's, and then I think there was one C in there. So I was okay with that, you know. And about halfway through that semester, I don't know if I've told this story on a stream. I know I've told the story before, but I was actually doing a college midterm, which people kind of freak out over. They're not as bad as finals. Still not great. We gotta develop that now. So the problem is that the midterm was for actually a filmmaking class. Now, this filmmaking class I actually was really enjoying. It was an art credit that I had to take. A little bit odd for an engineer to be taking, take a filmmaking class, but I've always wanted to work for Disney. And if you know anything about Disney, even with their rides, it's very movie oriented. How they set up scenes, how they show different things in rides. So I'm like, you know what, if I had a little bit of experience with that, maybe it might help a little bit later down the line when I want to try to go apply for Disney. And I was in the middle of a midterm. We were actually filming a commercial for the university, and we were walking around an old part of campus, and they were doing some construction on it, and I tripped. And that doesn't seem like a whole lot, but I did trip. Felt, and I kind of hit my knees first, and then kind of fell forward onto my hands. I'm like, oh, well, crap, this kind of sucks. It's going to hurt for a little bit, but that's okay. And so we're walking around a little bit, and I'm like, man, something's not right. You got the feeling, it's like, all right, you know you did something, but you're not quite sure what it was. That's kind of how I was feeling. I'm like, you know what? I better go to the hospital. Because it was bad enough to where I'm like, I don't know what it is. I know something is not right. I'm like, I need to go. Got a long story short, after a couple hours, I actually drove home. And then one of my parents took me to the hospital. They found out I broke my elbow in 13 different places. And you're not hearing that wrong. I did break it in 13 different places. I had because I had to have surgery afterwards, and the surgeon was trying to figure out how in the world I did it. It happened. It sucked. And so I had to go the rest of that semester with a broken elbow, and what they didn't know at the time was some issues, like some damage to my back that they didn't know about. Along with, I'm pretty sure I broke my toe, but bruises, scrapes. It was a bad time. So it's like, all right, how you're trying to figure out how in the world this ended up in how did I end up in programming? Well, the problem is if you remember, I still had to maintain a satisfactory level. Well, that semester I kind of did. I was right at the border. But the next semester even got worse. That's when I started finding out my back problems. I was having a lot more issues, things like that. So once again, the university is like, all right, you're done. And so they say I couldn't come back. I'm like, well, this sucks. Like, I'm, right now I can't really work too much because of the back issue. I just got kicked out of the college for now. And it's like, all right, what do I do now? Well, I'm like, you know what? Let's go back to the community college. Let's see what I can do there. Maybe something there will kind of interest me. And I just realized that this code that we're writing right now is a lot bigger than what we were used to doing. Hopefully we can get it done. But that's fair. It's like, you know what? So that's how I got into, like, you have to choose a program there. And I started, I'm like, you know what? They have an IT program. Like, why don't I go into there? And so that's what I did. And that's really how I got into programming. I had never done it before that. Now I had working with computers a lot more, a lot before then, but I never actually had to program one. And really, that's kind of how it started. I took my first programming class with C++. It's a pretty commonly used one. And then I took Java as well. Took HTML, CSS. So it took me 2 years. And I finally had all my credits except for one. And that one was a little bit harder to get a hold of. But let's take a break here. Let's see if we can do a little bit of upgrades. Because unfortunately, we're kind of at this point where we need to gather a little bit of money. We're going to create our first program here soon, and I'll show you how you have to do that in this game. So I think that's pretty good. I think we're up to 164 grand. What we can do is actually, I'm going to try to create my own piece of software first. I don't even know if I can do this, but we're going to give it a try. But I'm going to go with an operating system. So this is June of 1980. If you see right here, there's the time right here, or the month and everything, and then what day it is. So right now, we can develop quite a few different things. Actually, I need to pause the game, because for some reason the game keeps going, even when you're in a screen like this. So you can do an operating system, a 2D editor, think about like Paint or something like that, audio tool, things like Audacity. Game engines are a little more complicated, but things like, you've probably heard of the Unreal Engine, the Cry engine, I'm trying to think of some, Havoc, I think actually has an engine like this. You can create a game, which I don't have any art skills, so probably not a great idea. Office software, Microsoft Office kind of comes to mind there. CMS is a content management system. Think about this is, I think the first two they let you develop is a finance one, and then like a inventory one for like inventory management. So all those are pretty neat. I think we're going to go with a 2D editor. The reason that we might need a 2D editor is that it's probably the most basic thing you need in here. So here's the problem. We do need, we're getting a little ahead of myself. So I need a product name. I'm going to call it Snippet. Snip it. There's a thing on Microsoft Windows called the snipping tool, and we always use it called Snippet. I kind of like that name. So the price is, right now they're expecting about $54. I'm going to make it $50. Crap, the console just came up because I hit that. So it's original IP. We're not going to keep it in-house. If we can keep it in-house just so that we only can use it, because there's other companies in this game that you can actually buy and sell products to. Hold on one second here. I'm going to reset that thing because for some reason my headset was going a little crazy. And the game just crashed. Well, that's unfortunate. I just told that whole story, and it's like, it's all for naught. But I can tell you, there's another part of that story that no. Did that auto save it all? Let's see. Yeah, looks like the end of the day. Looks like if it wasn't, we didn't lose too much. I mean, there is one part of the story, the college story, I haven't really told yet, and it was actually doing an internship. Kind of the part of the, well, I'm going to wait a day, we can get the code up and everything, but essentially the internship, what I did is that we actually had to go work for a company for a full semester, and actually do IT work, just kind of prove we can do it. And then the company got some, got some labor out of it, we get paid for it. I'm going to fix that. All right, so now we can go back to our 2D editor. So let's. I'm kind of all over the place right now, kind of figuring this out. So let's try to see if we can get a 2D editor going. So we've got Snippet. So it's going to be a pixel running. So we're going to do $50. And then, so we need to choose what operating system is going to be on. So this is actually the operating systems currently. There's only 2 of them. Essentially what I'm going to do, I want to develop these for one of them. We'll do the top one. We can always port it later, so we can always do that. So we'll do it on Sloth X4. There's no dependencies. Later on, you'll actually have programs that need different things. Games need game engines and 2D editors to actually edit the art and the actual physics and stuff like that. So kind of makes sense. So here's actually this. So we got we have our dependencies here. Here's all the details for this one. So so take it's recommending 2 designers and 2 programmers. I'm going to try it with just myself. We'll see how that goes. We need about 7 code units. It's going to cost me about $8,000. No royalties because I'm not having to pay anybody. This is if we have a server, we actually can put it on a server. Nothing wrong. Max quality outstanding. Expected interest about halfway. It's actually pretty good. Pretty good stability and innovation. Usability high because we all, a lot of people need these tools. So I want to send it to the core team and hit develop. It's going to tell me that it's actually just a tutorial. So we really don't need too much money right now because it's just me in this office. So hopefully this will work. I haven't tried this yet. But going back to the internship, I actually worked when I actually started looking for an internship. I actually was working for a finance company, which is a bit odd because you don't think of programming and finance, but actually, the funny thing is that they were actually developing their own program for their dealer. Like it was a car finance company, so they actually worked with dealerships to work with their programming. So pretty fair. I mean, I'm like, hey, I could help with this. You know, it's. I think this will be very good and great. So essentially, I finished my classes in May, kind of in the end of this spring semester, and I was going to start my intern in August. Well, August 7th of that year, they announced the company was going to close and everybody was going to be kicked out. Essentially, another company bought us. We all became redundant, and so we lost our jobs. That kind of sucked. It even sucked worse because I lost my internship. And so I spent about a year looking for one. And when I say about a year, it was kind of funny because a couple weeks before my birthday the next year, so it would have been 2020, it actually was this year. Yeah. Really, it just seems like it's been a lot longer than that. That's why I was kind of like, hold on. But I get a call from the person I was working with at college, and she goes, hey, I've met with her a couple times, so I knew her pretty well. And she goes, hey, I've got this job with this company. He goes, it's a baby company. Well, I'm going to turn the game volume just a little bit, if I can. Is that better? Worse? Well, see here in a second. But essentially what it was is that, I actually thought she meant the other way. Hold on. Let me fix that. I went the wrong way. My bad. If that's any better, let me know. But college calling me, hey, I've got this job with this company. And don't know, you might be interested, you might not be. I'm like, well, at this point, it's been a year since I've actually been at work. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. I am going to reach out to this company. And by this point, in about a year, I had gained one interview and about 3 phone calls for jobs. And that was about it. Kind of lackluster. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go for this. And the day after my birthday, I get a call that goes, hey, you got the job. It was only an internship, and that's the one I'm actually still working at currently. That's kind of how I got into IT. It was kind of you have to go do something, so why don't you go do this kind of thing. So, yeah, it was kind of interesting. And that's how I got into programming. I do need to practice some more. But, it's something, I don't know how some people get into programming, but that's kind of how I did, at least. Go ahead and just... It's a little odd with games like this, especially with a new game, trying to actually get the audio levels kind of adjusted. So I've been kind of paying attention. I guess a little off there still. We'll adjust it and figure it out. But what's going on in the game now? I'm just still trying to code our little snippet program here. And so far it's not bad, but we do have a couple more buttons than we did with the actual contracts. We actually have a sign, which is essentially assigning a team to it. We can actually change what team's assigned to it, but we only have one team right now, so it doesn't matter. We can market this game. Right now, I really don't have anything. I don't have any marketing, just because I don't have any marketing skills, so it would take a while for me to actually do this. And I usually don't market until we hit the beta phase. We kind of know when we're going to release the game and things like that. So we'll see about this. Review is actually sending out a review copy of things. So it could be a review of or mix that up. A review is actually sending your code either to another team or to an outsourced area just to see how they think the development's going. So once I hit 7 units, so I'm about to here, and when I actually ask for a review, I'm actually going to outsource these. This cost me $100 per one, so it's going to cost me about $3,400. But if you look here, this thing is actually really good. It's an 8.1. The bugs are kind of ishy, but the quality is really good, and everyone seems to like it. So that's a good thing. That means we're probably on the right track. probably, let me double check. I thought it said 7. It did say 7. I'm gonna probably wait till an 8, because this is kind of what you can do. This doesn't give you a set guideline. But if I can get that to maybe an 8, maybe a 7.5 or an 8, it might be a lot better. And we do all the bug fixing things like that. This will be a really good program for us. But there does come a point where it does slow down quite a bit. We're getting to that point now. So we need to start thinking about actually moving this into beta now, so we can actually hit the promote button. And I think for what we're doing here, I think we let it go for the rest of today. My guy will leave, we'll skip it, and we'll go ahead and promote it into beta. This is when we're actually going to announce a release date. I'm actually going to make it February of next year. So right now it's December. So kind of the idea is that we are going to hopefully in 2 months, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to release this product. I'm going to hit OK. So I have 1 month and 1 day to complete this one. That's great. I want to put out a press build. So essentially I want to send out a demo copy of it, just kind of to the media. Today it would be to streamers, to things like that, to tech blogs. Some newspapers still do have a big tech section, and then they actually review it, and we actually can see those reviews later, and we'll see those here probably in the next day. So yes, we do have one. Says a press build has been viewed. So this is the Software Times beta review of Snippet. We got our hands on Snippet from Cyberfryer LLC. Let's see what they have to offer. They're not really well known in this market. That's fair. This is our first year as a company. We haven't really heard much about Snippet. It might be the new big hit as it boasts decent features. It'll be out any moment now. So essentially they're saying, yeah, it might actually work. It actually might be an interesting product. And this is some of the stuff you got to look out for. So not too bad. We can see here our followers are flying up. So it seems like this is a good strategy so far. A single man company. We're not going to be like Microsoft right away. And I've seen people actually get to the point where they become like another Microsoft, which is kind of neat. Speaking of other companies, though, we do actually have, number one, I forgot to hire that cleaner. Something I was going to mention. If you actually notice here, there's stuff around the office that does get dirty. Things break down. So you actually have to call people. So you can either hire them, or since I don't really need them all the time, I'm just going to call a cleaner, have him or her clean up, and then that'll be good enough for me. So we're going to do one more day here. So technically, this is the last day of January. We're going to flip over. It technically is going to be released in February 1981. It's got already 3,000 followers. I think we're ready to release Snippet. Let's go ahead and release it. And so I do want to release it. Do you want to? Yes, I want to start a marketing campaign of $15,000. So this is saying I want to spend $15,000 a day on this thing. So it's going to be a little bit difficult. So we need to actually make some copies. I'd like to get maybe 30,000. Let's go down to 25,000 because I'm a little wary of how much this is going to cost me. I want to start some more dev work just to get a little bit of money coming in. And because I'm just a little concerned because it's like I could spend a lot of money and it just doesn't work out. And then it's kind of the end of the company because it's like I don't have anything else left. So this will be fun. But now we can see here, we actually have a couple new tabs here. So we're still developing a program for Citicorp. But we do have a marketing one. So this is the one we actually see here. We only spent $4,500 on marketing because I'm not a great marketer. But instead of the marketing sparse, you'll actually see this. This is the number that will actually fluctuate quite a bit. This is how much we are currently either making or losing on the game or on the product, and things like that. I can't remember what this number is. This is actually support. So we've released a piece of software now. Now we need to actually support it. This is how every company needs that. You can call tech support for these things, and this is what this is. So right now we don't have anybody using it because we just released it. And so you'll see right here, this queue will start going up and down. So this is actually what tickets are actually coming in. People have either called us or sent us an email that says, hey, we're getting a bug here. So then it'll go in one to two places. It'll either go into verify that yes, that actually is a bug, or go into missed. If it goes in the mist, that means we actually didn't find it, or we took too long to fix it. And then once they get verified, we actually fix the bugs and they go into the fix pile. Essentially, that's how it goes. So let's skip to the next day. You can see here, Sibit has made $840,000. I am almost a millionaire now, overnight. In just over a year, we've made almost $1 million. So you can see here, Cyberfryer LLC enters the graphics scene with Snippet. Cyberfryer LLC is a newcomer and they are pretty new into the graphics scene. Snippet has been a positive surprise. We can't even imagine how complicated this must be behind the scenes. AKA, it's just me sitting at a desk in the corner of an apartment. The next Bill Gates sitting right here in front of you. It's amazing. We can't imagine how complicated it is behind the scenes, and it feels very stable. Just to be honest with you, it's just me sitting at a desk. I mean, I'm even at a. If I move the camera right now, you actually would see that I'm actually not at a desk right now. I'm actually on a kitchen counter that is mounted on top of a filing cabinet. That's what my desk is. It works, but you know, it's fair. If it could do more with modern features, fair. It will be competing with Final Edit 9 Pro by time back. And we were mentioning some other companies while during that time. If you actually look here, this is every company that's actually going right now. So this is actually companies will actually come in and drop out, not crazily. You see here, we can actually look at worth. So right now, H-Top Face Industries, $506 million. If you can see here at the very other end of the spectrum, you've got Cyberfryer at $936,000. However, I've made a lot of money off. I'm starting to make money. Literally, we were at what, a year and 2 months in, and we're almost worth $1 million. So here's where we've got issues now. So we are working on this beta of Citicorp. Here's the problem. I've got 45 tickets already like waiting on us just to get fixed. Not great. We'll figure that out here in a second. Because first thing I want to do, number one, I need to actually print more copies of my game or my software. If you see here, we'll order copies. We only have 1,900 left of the original 25,000. But I feel confident enough. I'm going to make 100,000 copies. A little aggressive. I understand. It happens. But we'll actually hopefully recoup a lot of that tomorrow. It's going to cost us $200,000 to print all those. I got a feeling that, especially that, I think we'll be just fine with that. So I do want to try to fix this up real quick, which looks like we're good. The $9,000 now looks like a bit of a pittance. So here's the other problem. We're not able to keep up with this. You see here, it's just slowly ticking upwards, which is not good. I have a feeling we might need to start hiring a second programmer. So to do that, he'll need a desk. So we'll go ahead and just do this. We'll select all that, hit duplicate, and there we go. Now we actually have a second desk. We could probably put at least maybe 2 or 3 more in here. But here's the problem we're going to face with hiring another person. See, with my character, my voice just started to go a little bit crazy. Let me have some tea. Lemon lift tea from, is it Bigelow, maybe? I don't know. Really good tea, by the way. So here's the problem with hiring another programmer. They actually have needs. What I mean by that is that they need to use the bathroom, they need to have a snack, they have to have coffee. I don't need all that for some reason. I think your person's a robot in this game. Don't get me wrong. Maybe it actually is like a cyberpunk world where the person just doesn't have any needs and they can just program. Yeah, it's a little odd, but fair. I guess starting out, it does help a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to put a desk here because, celebratory, we need to do something fancy. I'm going to splurge just a little bit here. If I can find the right thing, I'm putting an espresso machine right in the office. Because, who wouldn't want an espresso machine in their office? I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't want one. I'm not a big espresso person. That's fair. But we also need to satisfy some social needs. They need a water cooler so they can talk to each other and not work. Why? Not really sure, but they need that. Let's see what else. So we've got social, we've got kind of we need a vending machine. We'll put it down here in the corner, kind of keep it away from this. At least they have to get up. Or I mean, I guess they could just wheel over there. By the way, I probably would do that too. Just kind of wheel over to the vending machine and wheel it back. I haven't had a job where I could do that, but that is fair. So we got the bathroom. They supply us with a bathroom here. It's a pretty, really just has a toilet. I don't know how the hygiene works in there, but we'll see. And then so we have our social needs, kind of energy, drinks, food. That's pretty much all I'm going to provide right now. But now we can hire another employee. So right now we're going to be looking for a programmer. Probably we don't really care about specialization or anything like that. I do want to tick off, don't want to be like make mad, overall skill and personality. So the personality, you actually have an HR department, kind of you have to run, which is kind of unfortunate. COVID would be an interesting one because do you just sit at your house? So Silva, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but Silva brought up. So what happens if you had a COVID station? What happens? Or my question is, what would happen if you had a COVID edition of this game? Would you just have your guy at home in like an apartment, or well, of course you're a millionaire now, so you have a nice big mansion, and just sitting there coding on a laptop? Is that the whole game? Just saying, could be. If anyone wants to create that mod, it'd be kind of interesting. You have to manage your team without actually seeing them. That would be interesting. People do it. It'd be interesting though. So here's actually what the screen looks like to hire people. And you have all these people, because I spent a lot of money looking for people. What I want to look for is compatibility. Because if a person's not compatible with somebody else on their team, they will clash, they will enjoy their job, they can either quit, they can file an HR complaint. There's quite a few plethora of things that could happen. So I think this guy is actually right here, Amber Lewis. $3,200 per, I think it's per month. Great compatibility, so we'll go ahead and hire. I think it'd be kind of funny. It's kind of interesting to actually have like a disasters mod or something like that, where you have to think of like, hey, this, we can't work, we have a COVID issue that we couldn't actually come into work. Or maybe like, I know, I wasn't a part of this team. When I worked for that finance company, my dad actually worked there as well. He was actually on the disaster recovery unit. I think something like that would be kind of interesting to actually have. And so the disaster, see, look at this. They're already complaining about noise. What is going on? So actually, we look at this a little bit later. I'll tell you about the disaster team here in a second. But as you can see here, everything generates noise. No duh. But if you look here, this vending machine is actually causing quite a bit of noise. So what I'm going to do is we can actually assign, oh crap, I forgot to rename my character. Right now he's just a naughty mouse. And not a mouse. All right. I want to swap these two around because I don't complain about noise. And so now they shouldn't complain about noise at all. And now we're still having issues keeping up with support though. All right, so actually it might be time to move. Because I just noticed we've made $1.2 million. And this company's worth just over $2 million now. Yikes. All right, I think it's time to move. We've been a company for a year and 2 months, and we're like, all right, we need a bigger office. So now I'm going to save the game first, just to be safe. We've already had one crash once, but this has autosaves that actually don't lag the game. Planet Coaster joke there. If you guys haven't seen this game or haven't seen my streams before, Planet Coaster loves to autosave right in the middle of something important. Now we're not going to go for an empty plot yet. That takes a little bit of time because I am terrible at building buildings in this game. So we're going to go for the skyscraper. We're actually going to go from 32 square meters to 56 square meters. So not quite doubling. We're getting close, but we can actually have about not quite double the building area. So it kind of makes sense for $840. It's not bad. So now we're packing everything up and heading over to our new office here. Now you can see here, we can actually lease more space around here. So I'm okay with this. So the first thing I want to do is actually create our core team dev area, because we still need one of those. We still need to develop new software and things like that. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll just put up a basic desk here. And what I mean basic, I'm not even going to put a calculator on it for reasons to be mentioned here in a moment. But I do want to put, I'm going to splurge a little bit. Every company in my building is going to get a plant, because why not? You know, happens. So I think I'm going to go with the executive chairs because, you know, it makes sense. Yeah, I would say it's like, here's the thing. I think with the, especially with the alpha, you know, I think this game could take it, especially it might just be, it partially could be your computer, but it also depends how the program's set up to handle your computer, which is kind of an odd thing to think about. But yeah, you know, it's like there was issues. Cyberpunk comes to mind because I've been playing that quite a bit and been enjoying that game, and I know a lot of people had some issues with it. Not what I wanted to do. I wanted to duplicate. There we go. Now we've got 6 desks. We can actually have quite a bit more if we wanted to. Let's go ahead and just set it up because we have the money. Something like that. Now, the one thing is that part of like especially game development, but there's other programs. Excel has issues like this once it gets higher enough to where it doesn't use your computer to its full capacity, and that's a bit of an issue because you can have 32 gigs, 64 gigs of RAM. You could have 8 core processors. If the program itself doesn't have the capacity to use all that, it's kind of useless. Almost kind of useless to have. Yeah, you know, but it's smart to split people between floors. And also, come on, why wouldn't you want a 10-story tower with people working on every level? Maybe that's just me. I kind of like the idea. But you know, of course, usually honestly, I've always worked on the ground floor. Like every company I've worked for has always had a ground floor office, and so it's just like, all right, well, this is kind of boring, but all right. So we've got our new desk set up here. I want to actually set this. We actually can set this to the quarantine eventually, but I actually want to do. If you look here, something I didn't mention before. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner, we have a few different stats around here. 400 lux. I have no idea what a lux is. I can't remember. It's a lighting term. I take that back. It's lumens. What's a lumen? Google it. I'm not 100% sure. However, I do know it's actually how they measure light. So this has 400 lumens of light in this room, which is a good amount. You can actually go look on light bulbs. Everyone has a lumen rating. So that's usually 400 is like optimal. So you have environment. Environment's going to be how your people perceive your areas, and this is at 200%, so that's good. Temperature, we don't have to really worry about that right now until we build our own buildings, but you got to keep your people within like a nice comfortable area, comfortable temperature. And that gets a little bit harder as the game goes on because you build bigger buildings, you need bigger facility and things like that. So we're going to add some productivity items in here. See, I didn't know that. So lux is not lumens. I thought it was, but apparently lux is lumens per square meter, which also kind of makes sense because if you can have 1 million lumens, but if you have a 2 million square foot place, which there is places like that, wouldn't make any sense. That makes more sense though. Kind of glad you learn stuff on this stream sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. So we have our core office here. Now I'm wondering if I should split this up into 4 and 4. So essentially these 4 desks would be for programmers, kind of what we have now, and these 4 for artists. So we can actually get into some more of the artsy stuff. I think that it's not a bad idea. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and throw some calculators down here. And the reason I say for the programmers, every job has a little bit different assistant. So essentially with programmers are calculators. With the artists, they're actually drawing tablets. Now I do want to point something out. How in the world do they have drawing tablets that look like, I don't remember what those are called right off the top of my head. There's something a little more modern that you get a pen and you actually can draw on it. It shows up on screen. How that is in the 1980s, not really sure. But hey, that's how it works out. So that is the core team office. Now, I'm curious to. I'm kind of wondering if either I should start a core here. Let me just go ahead and kind of build more. Save the game here. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna run with the core team right now. I'm hoping the core team can both support the game or support that. I keep saying game. I might want to just make a game company and just go all out. But I'm wondering if the core team can handle both a support for right now. I don't think this, like, if it gets any more active users, we're gonna have to create our own support team. But I'm curious to see if maybe my core team can handle the tickets for now and develop something else as well on the side. Because right now we really don't take any development deals because we're doing pretty good already. So yeah, I think we can go ahead and just hit play. Let our guys start moving. I think they're not going to get here until tomorrow, so you kind of miss a day. But there we go. We do need some more programmers, though. We're going to hire 2 more. Programmers really don't need any skills. I was kind of looking online because I was kind of curious about what's the best support one, and really, there's not one. You kind of want to get entry-level programmers because they want to, they can kind of learn how the system is and things like that. So we got Kathy and Wanda here. So we'll hire both of them. They'll be here tomorrow to help us with some more support tickets, hopefully. And I can kind of see these guys are just kind of fighting them. They're kind of on the border. But here's the problem, though. If you saw how noisy the other area was, you can kind of see where I'm tabbing through all the levels here. You can kind of see that we have a bit of an issue. Number one, we don't have a break room at all. And so, that's the basement. We can get basements as well, too. But we don't have a break room. And I think for something like this, we have 8 people. We really can't fit a break room in here for 8 people. And let's be honest, if you ever worked a job, like in an office or something like that, you actually need some time to actually get up from your desk and actually go somewhere and just relax for a bit. I know I always liked it. So what I'm going to do, this is also $840 a month. So essentially, our lease just went from $400 a month to $1,700, maybe a little less than that. But we actually have a lot more space here. So here is going to be our break room. So pretty simple stuff here. I'm actually going to do some really just kind of along the walls here. I'm going to make some nice half-rounded tables. I think it's kind of a neat little look. And we'll just put some nice tables or nice chairs around there. I say nice. These are the cheapest chairs in the game. Don't at me. That's how a break room would be. I just kind of these cheaper chairs, things like that. I'm going to go ahead and put a water cooler. Let's put a water cooler actually in our area, just so that access to water is a good thing to have. But let's see how this room's going. So it's 176% to the good on environment. So it's throwing that painting up. It looks even better now. Put our vending machines. I say machines because I do want to put a couple of them up. And also wanted to put a couple tables in here. And then put in, we don't want to go with this yet. You actually can once you get a big enough company, you actually can hire a chef and he actually cooks food for your people, or multiple chefs. But that's kind of neat, but it's a little expensive for right now. So I do want to get this going, but I do wanted to put what was I going to put in here? I know I was going to put like a coffee machine or something like that in here, just so that they still can actually get a drink, stuff like that. Something like the coffee. Let's just be real, because coffee, I'm pretty sure, powers 95% of the programmers out there, even me. I'm not drinking any coffee right now. I already had 2 cups today. It's okay. But there, I think this will also help support more people once we get them in. So we can go ahead and skip time here. So you can see here, we were actually missing out on sales still, because we're worth $4.3 million. Well, all right then. So we need to actually start printing more copies. Hopefully, our 2 new programmers will help us keep up with the support for the game. Or I keep saying game. We need to create a game. I'm going to create I'm going to create separate. I'm going to become new CD Projekt Red. Is what we're going to do. Honestly, we get these ordered really quick here. Order copies. I'm going to do another 150,000. for some reason, I have no idea why, but Cyberpunk 2077 has just been this incredible game that I love playing, and I still play. I mean, I've already beat it once, but it is such a fun game. And I know a lot of people have issues with it, and I understand that. And I think CD Projekt Red is doing their best to try to fix it. They've already come out with, what, I think 5 or 6 patches, well, hot fixes for it. They haven't come up with a patch yet. And I'm really kind of excited to see what the DLC is, and I probably will buy all that too. I don't think I've ever, really before this, I can't really think of a game that I was this, like, wanting to play this more, wanting to do all this. Maybe I can think of one game, and that's it. And so it's kind of neat. It's been fun so far. But I've been collecting a lot of Cyberpunk stuff too. I've got all but one pop figure, which, by the way, if anybody wants to collect pop figures, from what I can tell, there is 6 of them out there. There's 3 Vs, so V's the main character of Cyberpunk. There is 2 males and 1 female version. One of the male versions has glow-in-the-dark eyes. Didn't know that existed until I saw it. There's a Takamura, and then there's 2 Johnny Silverhands. I have 1 Johnny Silverhand, can't find the other one anywhere. And when I say anywhere, I went and looked at GameStop, Target, and Walmart. The ones around me do not have one. And when I say around me, I say within 100 miles. Even looked it up on their website. Not within 100 miles, they cannot find one of these pop figures. So I'm about to order it offline if I want that one. So I've noticed a couple things while I've been chatting. Number one, this support ticket thing isn't going down any faster. We're going to have to get our own support team, which is fine. Here's the problem. We actually are going to need probably a leader for them, which is fine. We can find a leader. I think we can even squeeze a leader desk in here, so we can actually have 9 people on our support team. I think that's pretty fair. But if you notice, we're actually out of room, so we're going to have to go up to the first floor. Ooh. The problem is, as you go up, the rank gets higher. Who knew? We're going to have to lease that one out. I think this will work. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take this. This is a little bit easier way to do this. Come over here and go to, which button is it? Hold on. Can I say duplicate? I can. Perfect. So now, I've already got the office built. This is what I like to do with offices. It makes it a lot easier on me. I think I screwed that up. Well, let's try that again. I'm like, why is that bookcase in front of the door? I'm like, oh crap, it's in the wrong spot. That's why. Let's try this one more time here. That looks a little bit better. I still want to actually delete these 2 boards here. I actually want to put another desk there. And then this will be for the leader of this group. And then the rest of them will actually be for the programmers. Ooh, we probably don't need the art tablets here then. Just thought about that. Let's go ahead and get rid of those. So, let's see here. Office. These guys are going to all need calculators here, 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 and here. The leader is going to need the inbox. That just helps with their leadership skills, I guess. So this will actually be, so I need to actually reassign these rooms because I did forget to do that. This will be just for the core team. And then I want to go ahead here and hit change teams. I'm going to add a support team. So we will add this. So right now you actually can see the core team has 4 employees. We can actually assign these roles. Well, pretty much we're all programmers and designers in this one. But the support team doesn't have anybody in it yet. And right now we can actually hire up to 10 people, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or actually 9 people. Glad I counted. So we actually hire 8 people and then 1 leader. Essentially what we're going to do. We'll hire an employee, a lead, kind of low. I'm okay with not doing any of that. But you can see here, they have compatibility with great. I really don't care about that right this second because once I switch over to support, you'll see here, it goes to NA. The reason it goes to NA, well, there's nobody in core, so there's no one to be compatible with. So I want to kind of look at the person. All their skills are the same. We'll go with Hollis here. There we go. Now you can see the compatibility goes back up. But now we actually need programmers. So we need to do another search here for a programmer. I'll do system. We'll spend some good money. And now we need 8 of these people. You actually see we actually have some good really good compatibility here. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a lot. I understand that. But once we get, we actually get another program going, because I think if Snippet was this good, we can do another program just as good or even better. As to what it is, probably the audio. Costs us about 11, but look at this. It goes to dependency. That's an easy word for me to say. And we actually need to choose one. Well, here's the thing. Here's all the ones that come out in this game. Look at this. We actually can choose our own. Hit OK. We don't have to actually pay anybody then to actually make or to actually use their software in our software. Kind of cool. Product name. What can we name this? Well, when I was playing this originally, my dad was sitting next to me. I know some people have actually, seen my dad. He's not here. He's actually at work right now. But he actually sits literally right here. My arm would actually be hitting him in the face right now. He goes, "Why don't you name it Boombox?" My dad was a computer science major, and he thought it was kind of funny. So we're actually going to call it Boombox. We'll make it $70. Default category. The original IP. You actually can make a sequel. Like, so let's say we want to make a Snippet 2. We actually can make a sequel of Snippet and call it Snippet 2. So the fans of Snippet, so the 139,000 people that are currently using it, are a little more excited for the sequel. Kind of makes some sense. Something I just remembered though is that we never actually ported Snippet to another operating system. We need to do that. But let's go ahead and do this. So we've got audio playback and music editing. Pretty simple. Good quality. Innovation stability is going to be medium, but I think we'll be okay there. We'll hit develop. We're actually going to pause this right this second. We're actually going to go over here to Snippet. And you can see here, we actually can go right here to port. If anybody knows what porting means, it means we're taking it from one operating system to another. So right now we can only do Lion Blinds 4. We're going to hit that and hit OK. And now we'll go ahead and port that over to Lion Blinds 4. That's going to open up, another million people to be able to use Snippet. Kind of makes sense you want to do that. It might take it more than a day, but that is okay. Once again, we're up to 8.8 million now. One program changed the whole company. But now you can see here, our support team is just sitting there. Fair. We actually haven't assigned them to actually do support yet. So we'll take core off there. We'll hit there. And once we hit play, you can see all of them will start typing away, fixing our tickets that we have in our thing here. You can see here, they're more than capable to actually handle that. So they're actually knocking them down pretty good, which is a good thing. That means they can probably do support for other programs as well. So I'm trying to think what else I wanted to do with this. As what it was, I'm not 100% sure. That is unfortunate. Skip there. Oh, that's what it was. So number one, Snippet's still not meeting demand, which is fair. We just completed the port. So I got a feeling this is going to be a pretty big selling day. So let's go ahead and order more copies of the game. We're still only have 1,000 in stock. We've already sold over 250,000 people, and we can reach up to 2.8 million people. We'll go ahead and do, we'll do 200. You know what? We're doing 250,000 because we have another market. I think we're going to be kind of breaking into that. I think that's going to be a big thing. I also want to, we've never really reached that marketing budget. That I think is kind of a big issue. But we need a marketing team really to kind of do that. And, really don't have room for them right now because while we can put two teams in one room, it's kind of an issue with that. I even kind of experienced this, and I'm like, why would they program this into a game? And then I got to thinking, like, this kind of makes sense. When I was working in the for that finance company, it was kind of an open office. I don't need that. It was kind of an open office, and so you could hear other departments. And so I worked in what they call purchasing. I was on the phone quite a bit, but we also had our quality assurance people, and we had our credit people next to us, and things like that. So it's like, fair, but the problem is you always hear crosstalk, and it would drive us crazy sometimes. Jamoda, I don't have Alpha 11 yet. Honestly, I just got this game about 3 or 4 days ago. I wanted to give it a try on Alpha 10. Didn't know Alpha 11 was coming out, so it may be something we need to look into. Maybe if we can upgrade it, or I can get back to this point a little easier, and I have to do that. Because maybe that's just me. Because I'm still trying to learn the game. And it's fair. Let's see here. I turn this up a little bit more. Maybe that'll help. Maybe not. My throat. I don't know. Some days that my throat is a little bit better, and some days it's not. Especially with speaking so much. I don't know if I just like to hear myself talk or what. But what I want to do is I actually want to go into here. I know I didn't know it was out. I know how to access betas and stuff like that. I think I know how to, but it's just I'd have to go do it. And in the middle of the stream, I just kind of want to go with this. Maybe the next stream we do with this, I might switch it over to Alpha 11. Not be too big of a deal. But I do want to look at our team here. Well, I actually want to go to the Manage Teams button. Here's where I wanted to go. Go to Employees here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Hollis was the one we were actually making our leader. So we're going to change her role to make her the leader. You get a little tie here. But we also need to center on some education. So education, we actually can train our people to be better programmers, designers, artists, whatever. But we can also do one called HR management. And so we're going to go and start that education for her. It's going to take 6 months, so 12 days. But what it'll allow me to do is kind of let that team be kind of autonomous and let it do, we kind of set boundaries and things like that. So, it works out pretty well. But from sounds like it, Alpha 11, I might have to go look at this after the stream. I think that'll be a good idea. And if I have to, I can get my company back up to this point pretty quickly after the stream. I don't think it'll be too big of an issue. So yeah, if you guys are wanting to see Alpha 11, see how I can fumble my way through that, I'll have to come back next time. Just saying. But we have started doing some development work, I think, on Boombox. Right now, not great, but it's getting there. I don't know if I really need any more. Jamoda, I think, thank you for that follow. I really do appreciate it. You're asking, how long have I been playing this for? Well, when I started the stream, I think I was at 8 hours. Just to kind of give you an idea of how little I've played this game. But you know what? I don't think, how many hours or whatever I've put into a game really matters how much fun I've played in it. It's one of those things. Also, went to college for this stuff. Kind of fun to actually see it in a game like this. Also, I know there's another game kind of similar to this called Game Dev Tycoon, which is really just focused on developing games, which is fair. But Jamoda, you should be number 49. I need one more follower to get to 50. We're trying to get there. I realized today that today's stream is the last one of the year. I wanted to get to 50 before the end of the year, and I am literally within Jamoda, I think, should be 49. I need one more. One person. Call in now. Become a follower. That's all you need. You gotta hit the follow button. That's all you need. I'm this close. It's like, oh, this is, it's so close. But but hey, if I don't get there, I don't get there. It's like I came really close, if not. But we still have an hour and 52 minutes. We can still get there. Jamoda, do what you please. I'm not going to force you to do anything. That's something I don't know. Like, I still get the spam every once in a while. It's like, hey, buy followers and subscribers. Like, number one, I do this as a hobby. I don't do this to make money. I don't make any money off this. I spend 6 hours a week doing this, and probably a little more editing, putting stuff on YouTube, things like that. I don't do this for money. And it's just something that I do for fun. Hey, Jamoda, if you want to do that, I would be really appreciative. We'd hit our goal. I'd be kind of happy. Kind of be a great little Christmas gift, even though it's a week late. Would not be. Speaking of Christmas gifts, I'm going to tell you there's a couple stories that I've had. Christmas gifts, not that they were bad. I've never really got a bad Christmas gift before. But the way my parents shop for Christmas gifts is pretty funny, and I think you guys would enjoy the story. So, my mother is a Christmas fanatic. I think that's the best way to describe it. Once again, nothing wrong with that. But she shops for Christmas gifts all year round. I have heard of her going out on December 26th to shop for next Christmas already. She's done that before, and I've gotten gifts like a year later, just stuff that but it's like she got them on that, the day after Christmas. The problem is, she sometimes forgets about gifts or where she hid them. And so she'd be like, I know I got you something. As to what it was, I'm not sure. Joe Moat TV, that's number 50. We hit 50 people. Now we just got to get... Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I kind of figured it was. Similar name. Could figure it out. But I do really appreciate that. That should be number 50. We did it. Literally at the 11th hour, we did it. Kind of like how programming does. We get it done 11th, like the hour before it's due. It kind of all fits in. I really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you. We just hit 50 followers. That is amazing. I hit the goal I set out in February to do. That's really cool. I just didn't expect. I don't know what to do. Like it's really neat. Well, actually, I do know exactly what I want to do. Some of you do know, some of you don't know, some of you kind of are new here. I play Planet Coaster quite a bit. I used to work for Cedar Fair, did that for 7 years. Is this my only save? I do have one other one that's not as good, but it's still getting there. But I used to work for Cedar Fair. I'm going to save the game. While I'm thinking about that, save early, save often. Kind of a good programming thing. It's a really good thing in any document you're doing. But I used to work for Cedar Fair, so I actually play Planet Coaster. And my Planet Coaster games have actually... I tell a lot of stories in there. So I think what I said I was going to do, if we hit 50 before the end of the year, which we just did, we're actually going to do a little bit of a celebration in there. We're going to do a fireworks display and stuff like that. I still plan on doing that. I think that'd be kind of a fun thing to do. I'll share a few stories about some of the special events we used to do, some of the special things that some special people we met. I met at Kings Island working as a manager there. Looks like we're still having some issues keeping this product up. I think it'd be a great time. It may take me a week or so to actually get that going, but we'll get it, I'll figure out some stuff, and I think it'd be quite fun, guys. So thank you, everybody who's followed, everything like that. And I really do appreciate the follow on Twitter. I do try to post when I stream on there. I've kind of got a little lazy with that kind of lately, but I do want to post. It's like I do try to post it on there as well. So yeah, this will be actually kind of fun. So let's see here. Printing, duh. That's what I need to do. Start printing. I'm gonna order copies. I do need probably to get some printers. Probably not at this office. It probably wouldn't be the worst idea in the world, but let's order another 100,000 copies. We're spending a lot of money on just printing CDs, but at the same time, we've been going through them like crazy. We have almost 150,000 or 350,000 people using it. Not bad. Jamoda, I don't have a Discord. I have 50 followers. Oh, it's really great, but I don't know if I have enough, content to really do that. I might do that one day. Might be something I might need to look into actually making my own Discord. Just because it's starting to get the point. It's like, hey, people are starting to ask for it. I might have to do it. If you want to add me on Steam, you more than well can. I'd be more than happy to. Still Friarobby, Friarobby. That is me on pretty much everything. Not everything. There's some that are a little out there. It's like, why in the world are they using my name? I don't know, but they do sometimes. So now we just move Boombox into the alpha phase. I'm like, what did I just do? Move to alpha phase. So it needs about 11 code units. So that's going to take a little while to actually get there, but I think we'll be good there. Marketing's still kind of sparse with Snippet, but it's getting there. Seems to work out pretty well then. Let's see here. Support team, probably mostly on vacation right now. That's fair. I am kind of curious. Do I want to start a marketing department? Because in marketing, they really don't need any of the programming skills or anything like that, so it's kind of a unique set. But those people, we actually can, they will actually handle all the marketing, which especially for Boombox and the rest of Snippet, that actually might be something we can actually use and actually put a little more money into, and then actually use it for what we wanted, what we wanted them to do. So, I think we just go for it. I think at this point, I feel confident enough to where I think I can go ahead and do that, and pretty much just copy this office. I did get the same notification to Moto, so yep, just yeah, I'll get to it as I'll get it to a little later. I don't want to stop right in the middle of the stream, fair, but I will add you once I get done with the stream here. Let's see here. I want to go ahead and just copy this whole office here. Alright, come on. Why won't let me duplicate it? Come on. Maybe because I have employees in there. It might be because I'll wait to the end of the day. We'll get a marketing team going here. Seems pretty good. Alright, so looks like my people have left now. Hopefully they'll let me. There we go. I mean, I think we can get to 700, Jamoto, I think we can get to 700 million on here. So if you want to, that's fine, but I think, what did I call this company? Shoot, it's bad when I don't even remember my own company's name. Cyberfryer LLC, I think is what I called it. I think we can get there. It might take us a bit, but I think we can get there. So there is that. We do need to, let's see, marketing. Marketing, we don't really, I lost an entire desk. Let's duplicate this. So marketing, we don't need calculators, which is, fair. It could be more, it's more accounting than anything else. That's what I was thinking when I originally saw that. But I do want to add in their piece of technology that they need, which is a phone. Which also kind of makes sense. But also, to me, a phone on your desk, seems like everybody would have one. Maybe that's just me. So we have that. We can probably add the leader's desk, actually. Hold on. Duplicate this. There we go. And this guy will need an inbox. There we go. We'll go ahead and, that's not what I want to do. Change teams, add to our marketing. And there we go. So now we've got 3 teams. I think we're good with 2 tables. I don't know. I kind of like a wider desk. It kind of makes sense. You can cram people into a 1x1, but to me, I think they look a little bit better. Maybe that's just me. But we got marketing. Let's go ahead and remember we can do what, 9 people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. No, I can only do 8 people here. Hold on. Yeah, I can only do 8. And 9th person is the leader. Okay, makes sense. So it's hire employees. We'll go lead. We'll keep looking. Let's go for our marketing. Nope. Hit OK there. And then I kind of want to look at just, skills. We'll go with Beulah here. Hire them. And then we'll go over to our marketing. Low, we'll go ahead and start beginning looking. Compatibility with the marketing team. So we'll need 8 of these guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think hopefully this marketing team will do good for us. Let's make sure. All right, so we have our marketing team in here. So let's actually first off assign this to the marketing team. I'm actually going to boost the budget to 100. We'll do 50 grand. We'll start it off there. And I think that'll work. That should work. Now that the marketing team can actually use all that budget that we have to actually get to where they need, to actually use all that money. So hopefully that'll work. I actually want to go over to the teams management. I do want to go over to the marketing. Employees, we had Beulah. We're going to change her role to the leader and then send her on the HR management one so we can get that going. Now, is this one, hold on here. HR management, never. All right, so this is not quite ready for HR management. Also, while I'm thinking about this, let's go ahead and How do I... I'm trying to think how I wanted to do this. There's a way... Oh, hold on. Is it... Nope. Oh, I just want to boost that up too, but... HR management... I can't remember how you have to change what month they go on vacation at. Oh, here it is. Vacation. We'll set these guys to earlier than the core or later than core team, so it'll be September, October, and this team will be for June and July. It's like I know we can market software. Where I was reading though, this is kind of what this is what I wanted to try. I was reading somewhere that once you hit the beta phase is when you want to start marketing. Don't know why. It kind of makes sense though, because then you actually have a copy of the of the software to actually put out to the press or to streamers, however you want to put it. So it kind of makes sense to me. And so, once again, forgot to print more copies of this. We only made $136,000. Bit of an issue. And if you're curious though, Jamoto, what I actually originally I was kind of a big fan of what is it, Conflicted Nerd, I believe it is. Oh, I don't want to port it. I'm going to start printing more of it. And I actually saw it originally on his channel, and I was on his YouTube channel, and I started watching. Like, man, this looks like a really interesting game. I was actually in software development when I was watching this originally. Like, this is actually really interesting. I kind of want to see, I kind of want to play it myself, but that's been probably a year or two ago, and I just never picked up the game, and I saw it was on sale. I'm like, you know what, might be the right time. And so I picked it up, and it seems like actually it's been really fun so far. I did get it during the Steam sale, so it was like $9 or $10, so works out pretty well. It was actually pretty neat. Pretty good timing on my part, I guess you could say. And, but hey, it's fine. It seems to actually been running some really good sales. I think most of my wish list that I have like 20 or 30 things on there was on sale. Like, oh, this is pretty interesting. But this is a game I'm like, you know what? I think it's time to try it out and see how it goes. Yeah, I've noticed that. Well, I mean, we actually made 1.8. I think I didn't print enough copies, and they just sold out, and so that happens. Also, having a few issues with my backup here. Hold on. I got a new phone this week, and it's good. I like it, but I'm still trying to get used to it. I mean, I had an iPhone 6s Plus. I think is what I upgraded to a 12. So a bit of a jump from that. I mean, I think my phone was 6 years old at this point. So, trying to get used to a new thing. I've just now noticed, though, up here, that our support team is now having quite a few issues with keeping up with our tickets. I mean, they're doing okay, but there's just a lot of tickets out there. So we may or may not. Marketing team is not doing anything. Can we do any deals? We don't have a receptionist. We can't do that. I haven't got the digital distribution yet. I didn't know when you could do that. I know we can like have a server farm essentially, but I don't have one yet. But honestly, kind of looking at things, we're making a ton of money off Snippet. We're hopefully going to make a lot of money off of Boombox. I hope that's kind of the same quality. I think what we need to do, we're about halfway through the stream, and maybe a little less. Once we get Boombox out, I think we need to move into our own building. I think that's going to be kind of our goal. Let's see here. What did I want to do? I wanted to go to print or copies. How many copies do we have? We still have 44,000. Let's order another 15,000 just to make sure we keep enough in there so we keep making a good amount of money. We're getting close to 500,000 users, but our marketing's gone up to prominent. That's kind of why I wanted to create a marketing team, just so that I can get good marketing out of it and things like that. but I think Boombox is also going to benefit from that too. So, and once again, we literally ordered something. It's saying we still don't have enough for this. We also made $4.1 million yesterday on it. That's still ludicrous. I'm going to order another 100,000 because if you look here, we have a possibility of reach 3 million people. We've only reached 786,000. So this will get us to 800,000 people reached, give or take. So it kind of makes sense to me. We're almost ready to look at, let's go ahead and send a review out for an outsource. Because, why not? So it's at a 5.7. So we're actually getting close. I think by this point, we were getting close when we did Snippet. We were about a 4. But I know digital distribution can make you a ton of money. Essentially, you become Steam. I mean, if you don't know what digital distribution is, I would suspect most people that play this game would. But if you're popping in, so trying to figure out what's going on, I always like teaching people about IT stuff. I have no idea why. I just like doing stuff like that. Speaking of IT stuff, I've been looking to build a new computer, and I'll be honest with you, it's not cheap. I didn't realize how much because I have a good computer right now. But it's starting to act up a little bit, and from an IT point of view, I can't figure out what's going on. And I've had a couple of people look at it, and they don't know what's going on with it. So it's like, all right, it might just be time to upgrade the system, get a little bit better one. But even just a small upgrade. So essentially, it's just motherboard, CPU, and RAM. I'm looking at almost $1,000 just in parts. And I can build it myself, but that's also using my own the power supply from this one, the fans, the hard drive, everything like that. So it's a little bit iffy. And then the case, this is kind of the one I'm like, ooh. It's like there's a case, and I don't know why I love it. And I think I guess I can kind of tell why. There is a case called it's called the Cougar Conqueror 2, I think it is, or it's either I think it's Cougar Conqueror 2. It's a weird looking case, but I love it. And they actually did a build with Newegg did a build with somebody, and I can't remember. I actually sent him an email, and I'll remember his name. But it actually did a cyberpunk computer build with it, and it looked amazing. And I wanted to buy one myself and kind of do that up. But today, actually, for asking, my day has not been too bad. I've been up I got up about 7:30 this morning. I had to go take my Jeep down to the local dealership to did some maintenance on it. It's been 2 years and I've not done maintenance on it. Yeah. It seems like, hold on, that seems like a lot of, it seems like you're supposed to take your vehicle in at least once a year to do service. But also, you're supposed to drive your vehicle anywhere from 10 to 12,000 miles a year. A little more automotive. I kind of have a little bit of background on that too. I've only driven my vehicle for 6,900 miles in 2 years. God was kind of surprised that he saw a Jeep that was this old. It's almost 2 years old that only had that many miles. But yeah, I am from Ohio, Southwest Ohio. I always like to say I live on the edge of civilization because if you go half hour one way, you're in downtown Cincinnati. If you go a half hour the other way, you're in the middle of a cornfield, and that's no joke. If you look on Google Maps, half hour one way, you're in a cornfield, half hour the other way, you're in downtown Cincinnati. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic because I do, Martinique, good place, nice. It's kind of odd. It's like you have these, especially where I live, there's a lot of nursing and like stuff like that. A lot of medical research, things like that. So, it's kind of nice. I think we're going to do this release for February. So it'll be about a year after we, next year. Actually, you know what? Let's go January. Then we're going to market. We're going to throw out a press build. And we're also going to market with a press release. we'll see how that goes. Now, here's my thing: is that it's odd because a lot of people I know have either, from at least around where I lived, when I went to high school and things like that, have either gone to the military or they gone to nursing, which is interesting because apparently Ohio is really big on nursing, and nursing and manufacturing is kind of their two big things. And I went into IT. Go figure. But also, you realize that every company needs IT, and not just me. Crap! I just realized that I assigned the wrong team to this. That should be marketing. Let's go ahead and release it just because it's already a day before, well, a month before it's supposed to release. So, skip time. We've got a good amount of fans. Yeah, I should have looked at the review. Hold on, there we go. Hold on, let's go ahead and read it out. So Cyberfire announces Boombox. Cyberfire is not well known. Fair enough. We haven't built one of these before, but development on Boombox is underway and it's cutting edge. They used a video to show off their product, but they didn't put any work into it. Sounds like most of my college projects. Beta review of Boombox. Cyberfire is ready to show off Boombox. We've given it a test run. The target demographic doesn't really know who I am. We haven't really heard about Boombox. It actually looks okay. It has all the new features, and it'll be out any moment now. It might work. It may not be as good as Snippet was, but we are fixing quite a few bugs in it. That's a good thing. And I think here shortly we are going to go ahead and release it probably tomorrow or second half of the month. And Snippet, I forgot to buy copies of it. That's a bit of my issue. Let's see here. Order copies, we're down to 54. Yikes, we actually hit over 1 million copies sold though, so that's cool. Still have over 500,000 people. Remember, this thing software is a year old now. Let's do 150,000. There we go. And so, widespread marketing, which is good. I think this is we're gonna hit 200 bugs. I think that's good. Let's go ahead and release it. Yes, I do want to release Boombox. I do want to start a marketing campaign for it. I want to put $200,000 into it. I really want to make sure this game gets out there. Yes, I'm going to order 250,000, which seems like a lot. We have $36 million in the bank. I'm good with that. So we've got our marketing, we've got our support. Now, I want to keep what I want to do. Before I forget to do this, can you make a game related to me in the game? I can try to. We'll see. I don't know. I haven't really delved into this too much to see what I can and can't do in this game yet. So we'll see. I do want to have my core team though actually go ahead and port this. We'll do the top 3. Maybe actually the top 2. And we're actually going to do this one because it's that's not what I wanted. Let's do these 3 because maybe not. What was the last one created? Like, what was the newest one? So the ones we're using. Okay, so never mind. We'll go ahead and do those 2. We'll port it to there. So just so that we can get it to the most people that we can possible. And this is kind of a good idea, at least. It looks like we're still doing okay support-wise with Snippet. But let's go ahead and see how we're doing on our first day. $1.6 million. That's incredible. Still sparse marketing. We're still porting it to the other 2 programs, but we've made a lot of money off this. Not even have to worry about it anymore. But I think once we get the port done, you know what, John, once we get to game making, I will make John city manager. I think that'll be good. I'm okay with that. I can do that. But the problem is, number one, developing a game, from what I can tell right now, developing a game in this game is not easy. Game engines, 2D editors, 3D editors. Yeah. Ooh, we got a product review of Boombox. We already know Cyberfire LLC, but they are pretty new in the audio scene. Fair. Boombox is a respectable product. It is very complex. piece of craftsmanship, and it feels very stable. It'll be interesting to see whether it can compete with Audible Edit Shop by Fist Studios. To wrap this up, Boombox is looking okay for the price. We don't expect it to sell very well. It would help if they spent some more time getting the word out. They still need to make a name for themselves in this market. Fair enough. This is the first product we've made in this market. However, we did make almost $2 million the first day. And did I order enough copies? Hold on. Order copies. We'll order another 150,000 just in case. Order copies. We'll order another 100,000 of those too, just in case. Boombox made 3.4 million. Snippet made 4.6. We made over $8 million that day. That's pretty incredible. We're not even done porting it to the other big systems too. So I think we're okay. I think $42 million in the bank. We're doing just fine. Let's go ahead and, can we port this to anything else? We can, but they only have 91,000 users, but it's on the rise. Let's go ahead and port it really quick. Crap, I've done it again where I've accidentally assigned. Yeah, because John, you and I noticed this at the same time. Core accidentally was marketing Boombox as well. Why, I'm not sure. Guess I just forgot to switch it. Fair enough. Alright, so I think it's time for us to move to our own office. I'm kind of tired of paying rent and everything. I want to go ahead and let's go ahead and make our own building. I think that's a good thing to see. So we're going to save the game here, just in case something happened. We're going to move our company to an empty lot. Nope, I want to do it in a, and we'll do it. Do I want to tear up a town, or do I want to tear up a city? Let's do town. Why not? We'll do town. $50,000 just to move. I'll hit OK. $50,000 isn't really that much to us anymore. Alrighty, here we are. What neighborhood can we tear down today? Alright, so this is a little bit different now. Now that we've actually moved, we actually can, you know, a little bit more. So let's see what we can do with this. So we have plots here. We have a lot of plots, just because how the place is divided up. So let's go ahead. Ooh, okay. So this is going to be a little more difficult because we have to buy, yeah, a little bit larger plots. Our plots aren't as big. I do have a starting space somewhere. As to where, I'm not sure. Where's our starting spot? Am I just blind? Don't see it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I might just buy that forest there. I think this will work. Buy. And then right across the street, I'm going to buy these two plots just because they're kind of cheap. But I can put a parking lot there, and that'll work. I haven't built a parking lot in this game yet, so you know what? We give that a try first. Yeah, so I don't know if we just, you know, just don't have it yet or what. Use something like this. That should work. That should be good enough parking for now. So let's actually start working on a building here. Now we can actually do freeform walls and rectangular forms. How long is this? So we've got, it's roughly 32. So we did 12 and 12, that's 24. I think it's something like this. I'm going to make a little bit of a unique building here. So let's do this. So we'll do a 12 by 12 here. And then we'll have a little courtyard. I kind of like the idea of having a little bit of an open area here. And then we'll have an area kind of right in there, just to kind of, that'll be in the entrance there. So now we can actually use these. Probably one of these will be a break room. This will be kind of our cantina, but we also want to remember we need to have. My mouth decided not to work like that. Also sounded a bit like an auctioneer. That's fair. first thing I want to do, I think, yeah, I have an idea of how I want to kind of the shape of this building a little bit. You know, but so this is going to be our canteen, which I believe I can actually. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. I can limit group users to a canteen. So this will be our canteen here. So we'll make a nice. You can see my interior design skills, of which I have very little. Let's go with some nice larger windows, maybe nice 3 across. Something like that, just kind of a nice little pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. That'll bring in plenty of light in here, so we'll be able to see pretty well. Let's go ahead and start making some round tables, because why not? And then we'll put a couple chairs around here. So that's a good little set there. Let's actually make a little bit of a counter space here. This is the area we'll actually put in. We'll put 2 fridges and two stoves in here for right now. I know I'm going like all Google with it, because if you ever look up like companies like Google, like Apple, so they actually have places like this where they actually have like their own food court. And it's like, number one, why? But it's amazing. But before I forget, let me also put a reception's desk up here. Let's see here. Where is the serving pans at? I know that is something I learned the hard way because I didn't have any of the original game. There we go. Serving trays. 1, 2, and 3. So there we go. That'll become pretty much our buffet line. That's kind of how I'm thinking here. We'll put an espresso machine. We'll put maybe just one on the end here. That works out pretty well. Now I can go ahead and just highlight this. We can just kind of duplicate this. And you know what? Ooh. Actually, might want to turn the tables. Oh my, how the tables have turned. Terrible joke. Fair enough. But that's what I did. I can't take it back now. And then so let's go ahead and do something like this. We'll duplicate these two. Just kind of make it a little more, because I got a feeling this is going to be a pretty big area for, or this would be a pretty popular area for our people here. Let's see. Wanted to put a few couches in, because why not? You know, put a nice little lounge area. There we go. I think that works out pretty well. So I want to put a couple in here just to look like we actually have like a waiting room. So if you were coming to here to see somebody or wanted to meet with the boss, something like that, I think that works. And then we can do a hallway through here. We might have to make it 4 wide. I will do a server room. I want to kind of focus on each room, kind of make it look good first. Let's do... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Cancel that. That didn't cancel, but alright. Because we have some tan chairs now. Juicy. Alright, well, that'll have to... You know what? In exterior, I haven't really got... I don't know if I want to do quite yet. Let's do something like that, though. And then the floors will make a nice... we'll make a nice wood. There we go. Now we want to do some color. I messed that up already. There we go. Now we'll actually put some paint on the walls. Interior, let's do maybe a nice bright yellow. Why not? Something like that. Floors, I kind of want to do it in a nice, like a nice tan color like that. I kind of like that. It looks kind of nice. Works out pretty well. I don't know. I really don't know if you can actually see how much you've made every year. I could be wrong about that. It could be in finances. We'll figure that out eventually. So I think this area, to me, it kind of makes sense to make this the support area. Why? Well, if you think about this, kind of your entry level, if you want to do, like, go into an IT company, you kind of want to have to do support first before you kind of work your way up. Why it keeps bugging out on me, but it's fair. So I think this is a good area here. And I think something like this. Number one, we need some windows. We want to follow the same pattern we did on the other side, so not really too crazy. Let's see here. We'll figure out the finances here in a bit. And we'll see how that goes. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. So there is our support office. We'll at least have some lights in it now. Let's see here. First thing, let's go ahead and start furnishing it and see what we can do. So first thing we'll need is some computers. And that's the wrong way around. There we go. So now, what we need to do, we need some dividers. Probably don't need one on that side, but just so that I can clone this later. Hopefully, let's see if it'll let me do it. It will let me do it, so maybe. Let's see here. Do you want to do the plant? I think that looks really well. Now this is going to be for our support team, so that will be what we need, is the calculator. Let's go ahead and duplicate this. And I'll duplicate this. Oop, that's not what I wanted. Just wanted the wall there. Now I can should be able to just do this. And there is one row of desk, and then we can kind of come down the other side here. Do our second row of desk. And yes, I do plan on using all this space as support. You get a literal, what I know, kind of learning from a little bit of the experience I've had. Oh, that's perfect. From what little experience I have had of this game, I do know support's a huge role. Also helps with, kind of customer retention, things like that. So kind of important. So we gotta keep an eye on that. Let's go ahead and duplicate this. We can go ahead and duplicate this one more time, and then we'll need to duplicate this office. Maybe. Duplicate, and there. So there is kind of our support office. And I want to kind of keep it even, but this is going to be the leader's desk, so we'll put that there. Right next to the door. I mean, fair, but a little odd maybe. This thing, it's not going to have enough ventilation. This is something I have kind of struggled with a little bit, because this is the only one that actually has like air conditioning. But the problem is we've kind of blocked all the ports on it. So I don't know how that's going to work. We'll figure out something. Because right now, if you see here, it is 9 degrees Celsius, which is a little cold, but I think it's also like February, which is a kind of a cold month anyways. So let's go ahead and do all of our kind of room. Kind of want to do, I always like using these as like our support stuff. Floor, we'll keep kind of the carpet. Apply that there. Paint this. Support I like to do in green. Oh, that's actually not what I wanted to do. Support I like doing in green, like a nice lime green, maybe a little bit darker. Because staring at a lime green wall all day would drive me crazy. Well, maybe a nice gray carpet. How does that sound? There we go. So that is our support office. And we can switch teams. Cool. That'll be our support team. Because now we can expand our support team from 9 to, what, 5 times, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, what, 30? That's a lot of people. Let's put it that way. So there is our first couple of rooms here. I do want to do something before I forget. I want to try something. I know some people have watched me play Planet Coaster, and I do like to do stuff that maybe or use stuff that they're in ways that they're not supposed to be used. Can we do something like this? That actually worked out better than I thought it would. But I need to fix it a little bit. Ooh, I actually see what's going on now. Hold on. The first connections from there to there, and then I can kind of go back and do this. It's not bad, actually. I mean, yeah, I think that works. I think we need to change the color on it. Do nice hexagons. But I'm a big, I am a believer in kind of the theme park atmosphere. I love theme parks, stuff like that. I think that kind of the nice red tile. If you've ever been to a amusement park, somewhere in the park they have these like hexagon-shaped tiles. Anywhere you go, Disney has them. Cedar Fair has them. And I think that's a pretty good looking front entrance for us. And I think what we're going to do eventually is actually build over top of this, so it actually looks like a tunnel you're going into. But I think that looks pretty good so far. So, yeah, I need to get some ventilation in there. We'll figure that out. I always struggle a little bit with that anyways, so we'll I'll figure it out eventually. So we need 2 more rooms at least. We'll need a core team room, and we'll need a marketing room. And we'll also need some bathrooms. Can't forget about bathrooms. So let's go ahead and start drawing out the dev room, which I think we can do a 12 by 12. I think that's a good size. Something like that. We'll do the marketing team. The marketing team really doesn't need to have that much room. I mean, really, you can kind of get away with... Well, see, here's the thing. Well, I guess what I can do is renovate it later if I don't think this will work. But if I do something like this, and this is kind of what I'm thinking here. Do something like this, and then do a hallway down this way. I can put another entrance there, so I want to put a parking lot or something like that there, I can. However, I can now go back through here. And build bathrooms. Nothing crazy, but they are bathrooms. And eventually I can just knock all these walls out and stuff like that if I want to add on to the support room. Or to the marketing room, sorry. And I think that should work. I want to nuke that wall. So we have a nice open area now. So now I want to go add in some nice doors there. Do one right across the hall there. And then we also want to delete this wall if I can. If not, I have to redo a little bit of this, but that is just fine. Nope, that's not it. Which one's the walls? That's the walls. Perfect. So now I can get a nice little hallway here. We can put a door down here. People can walk in there. Put our doors on the bathrooms here. There we go. And we'll go ahead and let's do our windows before I forget. So this will be the same way. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Looks pretty good there. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. That side's not as big as the other one, so kind of makes sense. And then so let's work on the marketing next. Why not? So let's copy this desk. And we'll delete the pad there. We are going to then place down, let's see, there. Let's go to productivity. One of those, and marketers get a telephone. little tight in here, maybe, but 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I just realized I messed that up. Yeah, I can see that. One thing that does kind of bother me, that I just realized I put the wrong door in there, is that that if I want to redo a room, like I have to delete the room out, which kind of sucks. Maybe not. I could probably do that. All right. No. All right. Learned. I can do that now. So that works a little bit better. I actually wanted to do this. I need to move all these desks. Not duplicate. Oh shoot, I messed up. Still getting used to the controls of this game. It's a, this is something you gotta get used to. There we go. Now I can go ahead and duplicate the last two on each one here. Hit duplicate. There we go. And then duplicate this one more time. Oh, dang it. Duplicate that one more time here. There we go. So now I can put what? Whatever, say 12 people in here? One will be the leader, so here's the thing. I thought I knew how to remove a wall. My problem was I didn't know that, like, because I had some issues building within places. Like, it wouldn't let me build a room within a room, and I think that was kind of the issue. But using these freeform walls is a little bit easier. So I mean, you can't build a room inside of a room. Something like that. That's kind of what I wanted to do, and then I wanted to put an archway. So we don't have an archway for that one. I kind of like doing that, though. I think that'll work. We'll put some nice windows on the back side here, just to let a little bit more light in. And there we go. So there is our marketing team. I think this will work out pretty well for them. Let's go ahead and change the team so we know it's marketing. And then let's paint it. We'll do a nice red for the interior, like the walls, because marketing is red in this game. Kind of makes some sense. Floor, we'll do. I don't really want to leave it white. Maybe we'll do a nice faded red, like that. That'll be our marketing department. And then we have our core team. So our core team, pretty much, I'm going to do this. Duplicate. Oh, that's not it. Duplicate. There we go. Perfect. I understand that the door is a bit blocked there, so we'll have to move that furniture to there. So there we go. The leader can still stay there. I'm doing math again. Math's hard. Let me actually, just to kind of keep my sanity just a little bit, and to keep the room looking pretty well square. I'm going to make the aisle, I'm going to move the aisle down just a little bit more here. There we go, and I will need to duplicate that one, put it there. So now I've got what? I can actually, I'm going to delete this calculator and move this over there. So that'll be the leader's desk, of course. So I have 4 by what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6, 24, 26, 28. Essentially, I have 29 people in here. So I will do 14 programmers and 15 artists. I think that would be a fair way. So this aisle will be all artists. Essentially, this half of the room will be artist. So we'll go ahead and delete all these. We'll give them the drawing pads they need. Now, we're not really doing anything artsy right now, but eventually we will, and I think that's a good thing to have. Oh, crap, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Last one there should be good now, so we know we need to give all these guys some drawing pads here. There we go. So now we have pretty much half a room of artists, half a room of devs and programmers. I think this works out pretty well because I'm also the leader. I mean, I'm going to be the leader of a core team, so I'm also a pretty good programmer. So it kind of makes sense why I don't really need that. But let's see if we can work on a little bit of ventilation next. So we have a. You know what? Let's actually take a step back. Let's actually paint our room first. So interior, we'll do a nice blue. I think core team looks good in blue, and we'll do maybe a nice, something like that. But we need to apply some materials. Kind of like that. Remember, once again, got a nice techie hexagons there. Let's also go with a nice kind of that pattern. Why not? So there is our core office. We'll do our bathrooms next because those are pretty simple to fix up really quick. And where's the bathroom at? Probably under needs. That makes sense. I didn't know that one person made this, but I guarantee he's just like us when we made Snippet. He's probably very well off, or at least a good amount off. From just doing this, I think it's a fun game. I actually really enjoy this game. It's kind of unique, and I rather enjoy it. But to answer your question, no, I did not know only one person made this game. I think that looks pretty good. I like how our office is turning out. Now to the basement. Actually, first off, I want to go ahead and put an elevator in. Do I want to do straight downstairs? I think I will. I will need to build a room first. So answer your so for those of you who don't see chat, which I don't have it on screen, which is kind of fair. John asked, how long do you think? What do you think of it so far? And how long do you think it's going to stay in early access? With a game like this, honestly, if it's really just being developed by one person, it's a little difficult to say exactly when it's going to be released. Out of beta like this, or an alpha, I should say. It's an alpha, early access. Because it's one guy. He could have, if something happened to him, or if he just kind of lost interest in the game, it could just stay like this for, kind of indefinitely. Now, there's another game that I've played called, it's not Stonehearth, which is not a bad, is it Stonehearth? It might be Stonehearth. I have to go look it up on Steam. Let me go, pop out real quick and take a look. It's Stonehearth. I don't think that game ever got released out of beta, but people love the game. People enjoy that game, but they just they never got released from beta. So, but people still make mods for it. They enjoy the game. So I think this might it may never leave. It may never leave early access, but if it's a good game, who cares? It could be a while. It could be next week he'd be done. You never know about things like this, and it's sometimes it gets a little frustrating because you want to play, you want to see new features, you want to knock that wall out there. I think. I'll have to redo my elevator here, which is okay. It's not like a huge deal. But yeah, I bet you $10 I have to put one down here too. Yeah, and that's great. And it's cool to see that he's still updating this. But it's I don't expect him to be constantly on this. If it happens that he takes a couple weeks off or something like that, okay, that's fine. But yeah, I eventually I'd like to see this out of beta, but it's kind of one of those things where, especially when you only have one person, it gets a little iffy sometimes. That should work for that. So this will be our heating room here. We're almost got to the point we can start playing again. It's a bit of a miracle. Let's go ahead. I need to get in here and go and put some lights. There we go. And now we need to go in temperature regulation. That should pretty much very well heat the building up pretty well. I think we'll be okay there. And then I do want to create a small server room. Nothing massive, but you know, something where we can actually, you know, host a few servers. We can develop our stuff onto a server if we would like. I don't know how many of you have actually ever been in a real server room. I've been in a couple actually now since I've been working in IT. It's interesting. It's a little bit different and kind of stringent. You gotta. There's a lot of rules you gotta follow for them, and but it's interesting to be in a server room. And maybe that's just me, but hey, let's go ahead and throw up our obligatory tables. And looks like they already did an update today. That's pretty neat. That's at least. No, I don't want a server tutorial. So right now, our servers are going to be placed on tables here. I do want to actually, you know what? Let's go a little more crazy. There. So we got technically, I'm going to actually have five servers, something like that. Connect this server, so that's going to be one server. 2 servers, 3 servers. I know these servers aren't actually that big, but they should work pretty well. And there we go. So now we should have 5 servers up and ready to go. So I think that'll work out good. And I think we're finally ready to get into our new building here. So let's save the game. Fryer Digital was the other one I have going. Yes. Okay, so let's go ahead and resume. And let's pop out here. We do want to look at the finances while we're here. That's loans. Not today. Monthly, yearly. So you see here, first year we only made $99,000. 1981, $36 million. So yeah, there we go. So let's skip ahead. We had to wait till tomorrow so all of our employees can come in. Oh no, Rusty Short does not like Beulah. Well, that's unfortunate. Anyways, core team's not doing anything. We do need to hire some cleaners. I'm going to hire these people now. I also want to hire a receptionist. So, let's see here. Core team's not doing anything. So let's start developing a new piece of software. Why not? Number one, should I actually increase... I'm thinking here. Do I want to increase the size of our support team and our core team? Because right now we only have, 3 people? We have 4 people in core right now. I do want to assign myself to this. I'm not a mouse. But I do want to assign... I'm thinking about maybe actually doubling that support team. But let's see here. Manage task for... Alright, they do actually have the HR now, so that's good. So we can hire up to 29 people, I think, for support. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to HR management, role selection. We'll just do hired for. I'll have them handle wages and complaints. Make them a little bit younger because I figured this would be kind of the younger people. We're going to go for 20 programmers. Don't really care the education level right now. I mean, I want to train them up a little bit because these could very well become the next programmers for the core team. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So they should hire, if I hit play, they should very quickly hire 20 people. You know what, Jamoto? Honestly, there's been streams where nobody spoke to me at all, and it kind of sucks too. I kind of like talking to people. I don't mind talking. So, hey, it's all good. It's all good by me. So, core team. What can we do with the core team? Number one, didn't set up the core team to do HR. Bit of an issue. I do want to change, or I actually want to send him to HR management so I can start doing that. I also want to set the HR management for marketing. Already enabled. Doesn't really bother me. Education level. I do want to train them a little. Well, I don't really have to train them at all. So that is okay. Right now, I can hire, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I can hire 11 people. 12. It's going to be 12 people. It's even. 1 leader, so you can hire 11 people. Might work. I've got enough for support team now. So right now, I can hire up to 30 people for core team. 15 have to be artists. So let's hire some people for core team. What I actually want to do here is actually go in and go to employees. I really need to change my name. Change employee role. He's going to be the leader. All 3 of these are the reason I want to change their roles from artist and marketeer, so I know who I have, because it'll show up a little later. Can't I first switch teams? Let's see if I can change name. There we go. That's a little bit better, so I know who I am now. Kind of helps. Anyways, so let's get our programmers and stuff like that in here. So we got our core team. Let's see here. If I can, so I've got 4 programmers already. I'm thinking about doing 8 programmers, so I'll need 4 more programmers. That makes sense. Let's hire employees. We'll do low. That'll work for programming. I've already hired 3. So let's do 1 system and we'll do 4 or 2D. It would make sense to me. And then employees, so that person will also become just a developer or designer and programmer. So now I've got 4 in there total. I need to get. Did I mess this up? No, I said I only want to hire 8. I have 8 people in the core team, including leaders, so it'd be 9 total. No, I did that wrong. I am losing my mind. I think that's what's going on. Let's see here. So employees. No, I wanted to hire new employees. I'm trying to get my mind back together. I wanted to hire 2D. I wanted to hire 4 of these people. That'll get us up to the 8. Oh, that'll get us up to 12. No. Programmers, I only wanted to hire 3 more. That'll get us to 8 people. Then I take the other 7 and make developers out of them. That was what it was. So, compatibility. Okay, so I've got 4 now, so that'll be 8 people total. Now I need to go in and hire developers or designers. I call them developers. System. We'll do 4 of these guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 more of the 2D ones. 1, 2, 3. So that gets us. I probably do have enough to buy a company. If I wanted to, I probably could. I just realized that I might have messed up a little bit, so I actually need to fire somebody. Hold on. Change roles. We're making these only the designers and programmers. Change role. Nope. There we go. So I'm thinking about getting rid of one of the programmers. So that one we'll get rid of because I messed up a little bit. So I've got 15 people. Now I need to hire some artists. Probably will hire artists in 2D. Again, looking here. I'm going to hire 8 of these people. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I will hire 7 of the audio ones. That'll be a full core team. And that will 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. So I have a full core team, so I can start developing pretty much anything I want to now. All right, so got about 45 minutes left of the stream here. I think we want to try to get at least one more piece of software out, and I've realized that Snippet is still losing sales because we're not printing enough, which is a bit crazy, but that works too. So I'm going to print another 100,000 copies. How's Boombox doing on that? It's still got plenty of copies. I'm not too worried about that. Look at that! Look at all that core team. It's nice. I do know about the inventory system. We might just need to actually start building or make our own printing area. That might help us quite a bit. So we've got Boombox, we've got a 2D editor, we've got Audio Tool, which is pretty interesting. I could go for a game engine if we want to doing a game based or like a game based company. I think that'll work. So I want to do game engine. We'll call this the Fry engine because why not? I'm thinking Cry engine, Fry engine might work. Snippet will be the 2D editor because it's a good editor. That's one of the reasons I wanted to spend enough time. I want to make this out to be $199.99. We're going to add this to Line Blind 4. Core team going to develop it. The rest of this, yeah, really hasn't. 1984 is when it gets coding. So we might have to update it a little bit more then, or I could do some office software. You know what? We're going to do game engines because I wanted to do game engines. But also what I wanted to do is I wanted to look at ports to see, oh, good Lord. So really no active user. I mean, really kind of sparse on the active users. We can really go for that, and that one has any. So we might have to build another 2D editor eventually. Kind of get a few more going there, but look at all that. Everybody's developing. Everybody's doing their jobs. It's kind of nice to see. Before I forget, though, I do want to go into the core team. Employees. All those artists I hired. I want to change their roles. Don't want to have them marketing or programming. I just want to have them doing design and doing their art stuff. I've got one employee not active for some reason. Let's go ahead and skip to the next day. Is Snippet not still printing? Or have we not? Do we not have enough copies of Snippet? Is that an issue? Yeah. All right. We'll order 150,000 more copies. I did not know that. I'll have to look that up. And we'll figure it out. Let's see. Cleaning, it looks like it's... I'm trying to think. You know, I don't have a chef. Let's hire a chef real quick. I do have a receptionist. So there's all that. We're still making. I mean, we made $5 million last half of the month. Just on our Snippet and Boombox, which is pretty incredible. And it seems like so far our support team's not doing terrible, like keeping up with tickets and everything. They are going down. That's the good thing. There is outstanding. So let's go ahead and develop it. Fry engine. I don't know. Yeah, it's like I think, you know, I think it's nice so far. I think we're kind of in a nice spot. Look at this. So it recommends 3 programmers and 1 artist. I have 15 programmers and 16 artists. That's a little much, but I think it works. And so I was looking at actually estimated code 11.5 and artist 2.5. I have a feeling we'll have no problem with either one. But now that we have our own marketing department, we can actually start doing this, doing like a press build. And how big is our marketing department right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 people. Yeah, we need to actually add a couple. We can add what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more people. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's get our marketing department up to the 12 people it needs. Oh, it says it has 9. So HR didn't want to do that. HR management. So marketing, I want to boost it up to 11. There we go. And so hopefully here soon it'll have all 12 of its people. Well, actually, I think... Oh, there he is. I'm like, did I mess that up? No, it just happened to be stuck at 11 for a little bit. There we go. So now we've got all of our marketers in there. We get a review. Seems like it has all the new features. No plans on when it's going to be released yet. That's why I kind of like waiting to kind of do any press release or anything. Because if I don't know when it's coming out, you can't really get excited about it. It's kind of like, you know, kind of like how Cyberpunk was. It's like, yeah, we don't really know the release date, and it got pushed back for what, 8 years. Kind of the same idea. Everybody's leaving for the day. How's our parking lot doing? I think we have a pretty small parking lot, but maybe it's just me thinking that. It's full. All right. What kind of deals can we get here? Just print jobs. You know, I also realized we have servers we can put up, and we never did. So let's put it on. You know what? Can we? I know I can rename the servers, but Can we rename it? Rename. Dev server 1. Rename. This will be dev server 2, and this is distribution 1. So once we get to distribution, we can we actually have 3 servers for it, but technically I probably need to actually rework those a little bit because they're all kind of the smaller ones, but that's okay. There we go. But oh well, we'll get there. Snippet still does not meet demands. Order copies. Yeah, we're at 600 copies. Let's print 150,000 more. So I guess what I could do is actually put a printing area. It's kind of off the back of the office here. And that might work. I'm not sure. It'd be a pretty good size for it, so. And that's what I was kind of concerned about, is heat. I think it's this one, temperature. Can we do anything about it, though? That's the problem. I don't know if we can or not. Let's see. You know, I realized I didn't put any ventilation in here for these servers. Not ideal. If anybody knows, servers get very hot. And you need those in there. Let's see here. Air conditioning. Can we do anything about this? That's a little bit better. That might be good enough, at least for right now. Let me take temperature off now. But I think building a small printing center, pretty much is back here, would help. Even if we're not, even if we put a little, like, take these windows out and put doors there and make this a little courtyard, so it's kind of a separate building. I think we're going to do that. Don't have too much time, but I don't want to spend too awful. I mean, it's a printing center. It's not like it's going to be the prettiest place in the world. Let's be real here. There we go. We'll put a nice little path. We'll put a nice glass door right there on it. Let's see here. There we go. Just kind of leave a nice little path. Our employees can come out here and enjoy the a nice little just kind of a nice little walk on the path out here. That looks pretty good. Can we actually do it the other way now? We can't. We can put some benches out here. Make a nice little sitting area for them. I think that'll work out just fine. 1, 2, 3. That'll leave that space open. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And it's a little misaligned. Well, that's unfortunate. We'll try that again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 3. And that's gonna be our print center. So let's go into here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll be 5. Printing. Where is printing at? There it is. Can't get those in 1990, so got a little ways off for that. But what we're going to do though is duplicate this. There we go. So we got 4 now. We need some pallets just to help keep our inventory somewhere. But now we can start, hopefully run off enough of our software so we don't have to keep ordering more, but we'll see how this goes. I'm going to put a couple pallets down. We have money. That's money is no problem. But that does mean I need to go over here and go to start printing. Don't need to worry about that. I want to work on a maximum of, we'll do 100,000. That works. We'll also do 100,000 of these. But also, I need to hire a couple couriers. Hire a courier. We'll do 1. We'll do 2. Next one will come at 12, or we'll do it. We'll do kind of a second half shift. That should work out pretty well. And you know what? Also wanted to put a few benches outside. All right, how does that work? Oh, an outdoor fenced-in area. All right, I can do that. Maybe. Oh, I see what they're doing. Okay. I can do something like this, though. Alright, well, I guess we'll have to do it. Something like this, maybe. I messed that up royally. Let's try that again here. That looks better. And then now we can place down this stuff, but we need to put a gate in there because now you can't get in there. So that would help. And we'll just place a couple of these nice picnic tables outside, so if my people want to come out and enjoy the day, they can. Now, can I place a path in this side of this area? Looks like I can't build a path through buildings, so never mind. But I bet you I can make it look very nice. Maybe nice that, and then maybe make it look like a brick, maybe. Maybe a nice red. Nope, that's the fence. Now I kind of want to do that in tan. I'll see this one in the red. We'll make a nice little darker shade of red. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. All right, so now that we've got that, now it's raining, of course. It is May, but you know. Alright, so looks like, let's see what this one says it needs 11.5. Alright, so not quite halfway, but we're getting close. But honestly, I kind of like how our office has turned out. Boombox still does not meet sales. Why is it not meeting sales here? Hold on. It's got 7,000. Do we not start printing those? It still has 93,000. So maybe they picked it up and they're like, okay, well, not gonna freak out quite yet. Yeah, so it looks like we're already halfway to our. I think we've already reached our art goal. And it's at 2.5, sorry, at 2.71. So I think we're good there. Let's go for a review. We'll outsource those reviews and see how we're going on that. End those. All right, code could we use some work, which is fair. We said we need about 11.5. 2D art looking really good though. Let's also do some marketing for it. We'll do a press release. Okay, and we'll do that. Let them start cranking on that. Snippet just made $4 million, or $4.9 million that month. And Boombox made not quite 3. Just over 3.4, or just right at 3.4. That works too. Boombox is still not meeting demands. Printing. Let's crank this up to 150,000 to see if maybe that'll help. Let's go hire a third cleaner. Just to help out with that. Let's see. So I haven't noticed our chef coming in at all, which it looks like we might need a second chef as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's hire another chef. You know, let's hire two. I'm feeling generous. We might need a third cooker, but yeah, it's something we can fix really quick. Yep. So yeah, that's not too bad. Also, what I want to do, since we have kind of a good established company now, let's go ahead and you know what? Let's employees. Let's change their benefits. That's kind of what I wanted to do. See if we can do a little bit more benefits wise. So I wanted to do health insurance. We'll give them some health insurance. Why not? We'll give them $10,000 per hospitalization. We'll do a minimum raise of $50 a year. I think that works. Let's give them paid vacation 100% for 1 month. You know what? Hold on. That's actually not what I wanted to do. There's a way you can do it for all the company. Employee benefits. That's what I wanted to do, actually. Paid vacation months. Because I pretty much did it to all the employees, didn't I? Oh, I didn't do anything. All right, cool. That works out a little bit better. So, health insurance, do $10,000, vacation, and paid vacation. Christmas bonus, that's a little much, but why not? That'll be kind of our baseline. So that, yeah, maybe it'll help keep some people, keep them wanting to work for us. And then, of course, the month after I enable the paid vacations, 12 people go on vacation. Well, that's just great. You know, it's yikes. All right, once again, assigned it to the wrong team. Seems like most of the team that is on vacation is in marketing. Not ideal. But we're getting up to about a 9 now in the code for the Fry engine. Looks like it might work out pretty well. Skip to the next day here. Nope, looks like we need to call both. Everything's just falling apart right now. We need to call maintenance. And it seems like we're not printing enough. Is it because we don't have the printers to do that, or just we need... See, look at that. It's still, we have plenty in storage. Not in stock. We have it in storage, though. Which is right here. That means we're not getting enough couriers, that was what's saying. Oh, that's cleaning. Ah, crap. I want to actually call 2 couriers to help pick all this up. I think that's part of our problem. We just didn't have enough couriers out. There we go. I think that's better. I think this is when most of the core team takes vacation, so didn't expect too much work to get done on that, but, you know. Here we go. Skip it to the next day. 15 employees went on vacation. Not ideal. Looks like all the couriers are picking up everything, though, so we're doing a little bit better there. We're slowly creeping up towards that 11.5 goal, but it's starting to slow down quite a bit. And I'm a little worried about that. Let's put some water coolers around just so that people can have their social needs met. And it could just be people are on vacation, people could be out. So, man, it seems like most of the core team is out for some reason. Maybe that's me thinking that. Look at that, people are using the outside space. We're not having any complaints about people not getting their products because we don't have enough. Look at that. Not even an action today. Nothing happened, which is good. Everybody's here. Everybody's working. We didn't run out of products. I'm really starting to enjoy our little office here. It's nice. Also, I want to keep my cooks on a little bit longer. I kind of noticed that. You know what? Let's do that. We'll hire another cook to stay a little bit later. We're almost ready to do another release on. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and release the press release here. Let's do a press build for it. I think that's something good there. Yes. I also want to have it reviewed. Let's outsource it and see what happens. Ooh, couriers need parking spaces. I bet we can just put some back here. I think this will work. Yeah, that'll work. Deliveries, I guess. There we go. So those 2 parking spaces are just for our couriers now. Those will hopefully work out now. See how they're looking on this. Looks like it's a 4.9. Code is still looking a bit iffy, but it's at least on the 2D side. Audio side seems like it's going okay. see if we can maybe get it to a 12. I don't know if we can get it up that high, but if we can get it to a 12, I think I'd feel more confident in it. We'll see how that shakes out, but we'll let it run for a couple more days, and then once we hit beta, I'll go ahead and announce a release date, probably December, if I had to guess. But I don't want to make a hard deadline until I'm for sure that I know I can make it. But time for another press build release thing, whatever you want to call it. Cyberfryer LLC is ready to show off CryEngine. Let's see what they have to offer. The target demographic doesn't really know Cyberfryer LLC is. We haven't really heard much about CryEngine. It looks amazing and it has all the new features. No word on when they'll release it yet. So it sounds like they're pretty interested in it, which is good. So yeah, that I think is good. I think we're on the right track. I think it might just take a little more push, a little more oomph to it. But I think getting it to the 12, we're almost there. I think getting it to there will help quite a bit. I need another stove. That's probably not a bad idea. And just because, you know, put another there. Let's also, while I'm thinking about it, let's put another one of those up just so that they have plenty of room to put their goods on. Also, I don't have any vending machines here. I need to do that. I keep thinking of like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this. And it's like, oh, crap, I really did forget quite a bit of stuff. There we go. So now they should have some vending machines. They have a couple options for their snacks or lunches. Boombox made $6.8 million last month, and Snippet made 5.3. We're still raking in tons of money. Of course, it's only been a year since we released, or 2 years since we released Snippet, about a year and a half since Boombox. So let's get our reviews. Either way, I think we're gonna have to send this one to beta. I think it's ready to go. I think that looks a lot better. Still not perfect, but I think we're getting there. So tomorrow we'll start the beta phase, the beta phase of CryEngine. Hopefully that goes very well. But now that we're in beta phase, though, I think we're going to announce a release date for December. We're going to do it this year, 1982. Okay. Yes. Market. Let's do this. And market, since we have, let's go ahead and build some hype, or let's do a press build. I think a press build's going to help us more than anything else. So since we announced a release date now, people are like, hey, makes kind of sense, or makes sense to kind of, you know, be ready when this comes out. To me, that makes sense. Once again, I signed this to the wrong team. Needs to go to marketing. Also notice that some of our team is still a little bit dirty. Let's hire another cleaner. That's probably why. Let's have some of these guys come in right as they come in the morning and then right as they leave at night. I think that works out pretty well. But a press release has been issued. So pretty much the same way. It looks decent at this point. It has all the new features and it'll be out at any moment. So I think that'll work out pretty well here. Press release. Let's go ahead and release it. Oh. I don't know what that was. Oh. Yes, we know CryEngine is coming soon. Could you please stop writing about it? That's fantastic. Some people say it doesn't look great, which is a bit concerning. So I want to make the best product I can, but you know, it's a little iffy. Snippet's still not meeting demands. Let's see if we can maximum. We'll crank that up to 150,000. There we go. Still making a lot of money off both of them, which is awesome because then we can kind of experiment on what we want to do with them. Do need to hire a couple more cleaners. Let's hire 2 more. One for the morning shift and one for the night shift. We need to release our engine. It is that time. Yeah, I think we'll do it next second half of December. It's just in time for Christmas. We'll just put it that way. Come on. Looks like the office is clean though, so that's what I was hoping for. Snippet and boombox is still not meeting demands. Never mind, they also call maintenance, so we'll call maintenance. But I think it's ready. We've worked out quite a few of the bugs, so that is good. Let's see here. What else? I need to work on the print jobs. Are we just not getting enough out? Again, it looks like that might be the case. Let's just call 2. Oh, that's cleaning again. Dang it. To call 2 couriers. We'll hire another courier though to come in. Hopefully they can get more packages out. Is kind of the idea. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and release Fry Engine. Yes. Let's do some marketing. We're going to give it 100 and let's give it 200,000. Okay. And I signed it to core again. Accidentally. Yes, I'm going to actually make 150,000 copies to start out with. I'm also going to assign this to the marketing team before I forget. Support is going up there. All the marketing should be good now. I also want to start printing copies of Fry Engine. Let's start printing. We'll set a maximum of 150,000. All right. Well, it is. We're getting towards the end of the stream. Let's see how Fry Engine does. I think that's going to be a good way to end the stream. Couriers are still having issues parking. Let's actually add a couple more parking spaces while I'm remembering to. These are just for deliveries. There we go. All right, guys, how much do we think we're going to make off a Fry Engine? Let's see. Skip ahead. We've made $4,000 on it. That absolutely sucked. So Cyber Fryer LLC released its first gaming product, and I bet fans are excited to see what's in store. Is it worth your money? Cyber Fryer has a well-established reputation, but nobody knows them in the gaming market. I guess Fry Engine is okay. We can't even imagine how complicated this must have been behind the scenes, and it's a little fiddly. There's so much to experience, and it's completely humbling to witness. It will be interesting to see whether it can compare with Render Tech 3 by Age Digital Productions. In conclusion, Fry Engine looks okay for the price. It's probably not going to move many copies. They still need to make a name for themselves. Hey, it happens. Sometimes you don't hit a grand slam every time you get the bat. And hey, if you want to playing along with me on their own game, I have no problem with that. Especially, I know there's a lot of people. I see people pop in and out. They don't chat at all. I'm okay with that. As long as you're enjoying it, then go for it. And have fun. Also, kind of realized I did forget to put lights in our office building. So let's turn on the lights real quick. Let's do something like this. So we'll do this for this real quick. We'll do it through all 3 of these. Plenty for that room there. There we go. And then we'll put a couple in the hallways here. go. And then, do we have any more of the like fluorescent lights we can put in here? Yes. Go. Put those in here because it seems like it makes more sense to me. Alright, so there is that. Unfortunately, maybe a bit of a flop right this second. We only have 32 active users. Let's go ahead and also lower the price on it just a little bit. That might help. Let's do a 180. That might help it a little bit. Also, with more marketing, I think it's going to help too. Let's wait one more day, and let's see how it goes. We'll see. Look at this, 1.2 million people already active users on Boombox. That's awesome. Same with, Sibit already at 830,000. Honestly, Jamoda, I'm going to wrap up here in about 5 minutes. Well, I'll probably wrap up right after this day ends, just because I usually stream 1 to 4. That's usually my time frame. So probably just a few more minutes. So probably actually not very much more gameplay. I want to kind of talk to you guys for a little bit. Still only made $12,000. That's a bit of hit in the gut. But hey, guess what? We're still making money. We're not hurting for money. So I want to save the game here, guys. And this will be it for me right now. I do want to wrap up in just a little bit. So I will save the game. Same as actually. New one overwrite. Yes. All right, guys. Let me pop over to the main camera here. But thank you guys for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. We hit our goal. We hit 50 people. Hit 50 followers. Well, 50 people. But we hit 50 followers today. That's amazing. Thank you guys, all you Jamoda. I know you subscribed today, or followed today. I do appreciate that. And all 50 followers, that's amazing to see. I actually didn't expect to hit the goal for the end of the year. But guess what? On the 30th, the literal second to last day of the year, we hit it. I am super pumped for that. So guys, thank you. I really enjoyed doing Software Inc. on stream. I was a little surprised about it, I'll be honest with you. Just because I didn't know how this game was going to play out, but kind of talking about my experiences with software, just kind of talking tech a little bit. It's actually been really fun. I kind of think this could very well, for a little bit, be similar to Planet Coaster. I think this game's a little more limited to Planet Coaster, but it's fair. But I think for today, guys, that's going to be it for me. If you are new here, think about subscribing. Or not subscribing. Well, I mess it up every time. Think about following. We have 50 followers, but I always, there's no reason you can't follow. It'd be great. Just hit the button. You get alerts every time I stream. I actually usually stream 2 days a week. Every Wednesday and Friday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Usually I do Planet Coasters on Wednesdays and do other games on Fridays. But taking a little bit of break from Planet Coaster, just because that's a very creative game, and if you don't have your creative juices flowing, it can kind of be a little bit of drag. So I kind of like doing stuff like this, kind of new games I'm kind of excited for. I want to play them, and so it's really been kind of fun. Now this Friday, we'll be actually switching back over to our normal game, which is not Planet Coaster. Factorio. We're getting close to that one. I'm going to play a little bit, probably Wednesday or Thursday, just to kind of help advance us a little bit so we don't have to wait to try to get the next upgrades and stuff like that. So probably do that probably sometime tomorrow or Thursday. Oh, hold on. Probably sometime Thursday. Today is Wednesday. It happens. So yeah, hopefully you guys will join me for that. But for now, guys, I think that is going to be it from me, guys. Have a great Wednesday. Thank you again for all the follows. We have 50 now. Hopefully we can continue doing this. I do plan on continue doing this. I really want to. It's been really fun for me. So hopefully you guys can join me for that. Hopefully we can get to that the Twitch affiliate goal here soon. That's kind of the next one I want to work on. How long that's going to take, I'm not sure, but we'll figure it out. But for now, guys, thanks for joining me. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great Thursday, and I'll see you guys back here on Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for some Factorio. Till then, guys, take care.